Won the toss, defer to the second half, so Navy gets the ball first.
Thing is, Carter, anytime you're undefeated in a top 25 team in the country, every game becomes a must-win game. Every game is a big game. Every moment in this game is a big moment for Navy to achieve what they want to achieve this season.
Charlotte in their last game, which was 2 weeks ago, both of these teams coming off a bye. They gave up a 94-yard kickoff return for a touchdown against East Carolina. So Stephen Rusnak will be caught at the goal line and brought back by Bryant. A good push across the 25. Looks like he gets to the 27-yard line. Here comes a flag at the end of the kickoff return by Isaiah Bryant. Here's where we point out the penalty disparities in a moment.
There is no foul for a face mask. First down for Charlotte.
All right, so they pick up the flag. Good news for Charlotte, who is one of the most penalized teams in the FBS. Navy, one of the fewest penalties in the FBS. And looks like the flag was thrown for face mask, but may got a shoulder.
Yeah, it looked like he grabbed the shoulder, not the face mask, and bang, bang play down there, and officials made the right call.
So Blake Horvath and the Navy offense gets it at the 27. Alex Teska, who had 2 touchdowns in the last Navy game, the win at Air Force, is in the backfield at fullback. And sure enough, he takes it on the first down handoff and rolls across the 50. Teska over 1,000 rushing yards in his Navy career as he breaks a big one on the first carry.
And that's what Teska can do. He's not just a between the tackles guy, but has the athleticism to break the big play when it is there, the speed to keep running the feet through contact. Nice start to the game there for Navy. That's when their offense is best, ahead of the sticks.
26-yard run from Teska. There is already an injured Charlotte defender. Prince Wallace Bima, their starting will linebacker, is down. And they are without Des Morgan at defensive tackle. And Teska just needed 4 yards for 1,000, and on the first snap, rolls over 1,000 rushing yards in his career. Wallace Bima, the 6th-year senior, all at Charlotte, missed all of his first 2 years at Charlotte with an injury, and he will hobble off the field. So Charlotte already shorthanded defensively, and now Wallace Bima limps off.
Yeah, Wallace Bima is one of the better players on this Charlotte defense, and that middle linebacker spot so important against this Navy offense that has so many different looks, the misdirection, the option football. Sure hope Wallace Bima's okay.
So Navy crosses the 50 on the first offensive snap. And now Horvath out of the gun. The multiple looks that Navy gives now on offense. Horvath will pull it, and he is dropped back at the 50. It's a tackle for loss by Dre Butler for Charlotte. Blake Horvath averaging 8.5 yards per carry. Only Ashton Ginty of Boise State is better in the FBS. I mean, the total numbers are 17 touchdowns between passing and rushing for the junior QB.
And he's so gritty and tough, and he's a playmaker. Best thing, Carter, he's protected the football all season long.
Horvath tosses. Teska gets the toss. Rather, it's Heidenreich who gets the toss as we take a look at the Serve Pro starting lineups. Connor McMahon leads the way on the offensive line for the Navy midshipmen. Heidenreich, who had that last toss, is the do-everything weapon for the mids.
Yeah, Heidenreich's versatility is his best trait. He could start at most places in Power 4 across the country, 22 yards per catch this season. And he's got speed to break the big play. Also, the elite hands. We've seen some great catches from him this season. Keep an eye on 22 all day today when Navy's on offense.
You mentioned the lack of turnovers, just 2 INTs in the opener against Bucknell. Navy has not turned it over since. Horvath tosses complete inside the 25-yard line, inside the 10. Teska into the end zone. Touchdown, Navy, with an exclamation point and flip from Alex Teska. What an opening drive for Alex Teska.
Perfect start for Navy, running the football well. Then watch Teska on the wheel route. The tight end here is going to take away the linebackers in perfect execution. And Horvath with a perfect throw down the sideline to Teska. When you run the football well, the defense is playing the run, and then the perfect scheme there by offensive coordinator Drew Cronick.
A 46-yard touchdown catch and run for Alex Teska. 72 yards of offense on the opening drive for Alex Teska on the first snap. It was a 26-yard run. And then Horvath with his 8th passing touchdown of the season. Teska from 46 yards out and a flip to boot. Perfect start, 7-0 Navy. On CBS, 8 seasons, exited after 8 seasons as the top-rated show on TV. Seinfeld and I Love Lucy, the only 2 shows to go off the air as #1 in the ratings, along with the Andy Griffith Show. So there's your fun fact of the day, television history. Lance Gossett's kickoff will be taken by Mack at the goal line. Across the 15, and he is dropped at the 17-yard line. And a scrum breaks out between Charlotte and Navy. It will be Max Brown starting at quarterback for Charlotte, coming back from an injured finger on his throwing hand. He hurt that September 7th at North Carolina. Biff Poggi said it would be a game-time decision who started at quarterback, but it will be Max Brown.
Max Brown's got all the talent you wanted a big-time quarterback. He has a live arm, can make every throw. He's athletic. But make no mistake, this is a big game for Max Brown. After his backup Purdy in their last game put up 55 points, Max Brown has to play well right now against a really talented Navy defense.
Very surprised there was no flag on that play. CJ Clinkscales had his helmet pop off and a little dust up on the kickoff between Charlotte and Navy. We'll see multiple looks from Charlotte out of their tight ends. Cartavius Norton gets the first handoff with his running back by committee for Charlotte. Norton gets the first handoff for 2 yards. Deshaun Peel on the stop as we take a look at the Servpro starting lineups for Charlotte. At left guard, Jordan Spazovic Moko, the 5th-year senior, 6'6", 340, Texas A&M transfer. The big weapon outside's Omega Blake.
Yeah, Blake is special. NFL skill set. He's 6'2". He can roll. He's got the size, speed, body control. Needs to have a massive afternoon right now.
Play action. Pressure off the edge. Brown has to heave it downfield, and it's incomplete. Here comes a flag. Looks like a pass interference coming on Rayon Lane, who had some tough plays at Air Force for the mid-season All-American. It was Blake, the intended receiver, and looks like a flag coming on Rayon Lane.
Pass interference, 18. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Lane has to find a way to play this football. See, he loses it. Watch number 18 right there. Because that ball is underthrown and Brown doesn't make a good throw, it kind of forces the pass interference call there since Lane can't find the ball. But tough call against a very experienced player in Lane.
The most experienced safety in the FBS, his 36th consecutive start today for Navy. Empty backfield, 5 wide for Charlotte. Max Brown tucks it on first down and pressured from behind by Landon Robinson, the dynamic big man up front for Navy, but you have your eye on Justin Reed.
Yeah, Reed is a football player all over the field. He's got a great motor getting after the quarterback, always in his gap in the run schemes, but also has that athleticism to get to the QB. He's a power forward player. There's a lot of talent now on this Navy defense. We talked about Lane, who's an All-American, talent at linebacker with Ramos and Jacob, a lot of big-time players.
3 shutouts last year, one of them against Charlotte, a 14-0 win for Navy against Charlotte. On 2nd and 9, Brown, pocket collapses. There's Reed getting the pressure, and Max Brown goes down. The sack on 2nd down. Reed gets in there just as you expected, Adam.
Reed does a nice job there of just battling to get to the quarterback. Watch Reed right here. He's just going to keep working upfield. Keep working, using that high motor. They bring the blitz inside by Campbell, which actually throws off the offensive line, and then Reed with the athleticism to get around the edge for the big stop.
The 12th sack of the year for the Navy defense, the 4th for Justin Reed. Just from Apex, North Carolina. So 3rd and 16 for Charlotte. Max Brown pressured again. He tucks it. He runs. On 3rd and 16, he will be well short. Flushed from the pocket again. Kyle Jacob chases down Max Brown, and Charlotte will have to punt.
It's a perfect execution of the drop 8 defense. See, Navy only rushes 3 guys, 8 defenders playing the sticks. And then once the quarterback takes off, it's all about rallying to the football. We saw 3 guys right there tackle Max Brown. Kyle Jacob got there first. Great drive there by the Navy defense.
Michael O'Shaughnessy, the 6th-year senior, will punt for Charlotte. He had a 73-yard punt earlier this season against Gardner-Webb. Charlotte came from behind against both Gardner-Webb and Rice. 2 of their 3 wins, but that is well short off the side of the foot, and a shank for O'Shaughnessy. So good field position coming again for Navy. We'll see where they step that one off out of bounds. I mean, it's going to be near the 50-yard line. This could be that's close to a single-digit yardage punt for Charlotte. Already a 7-0 start for Navy. Get the ball again. Yards picked up 4 total touchdowns, including the game-winning TD through the air, to help Navy improve to 5-0 in a terrific game between those two in 2017. So Navy was 5-0 at that point since the 1960 season when Joe Bellino won the Heisman Trophy. These are the 5-0 starts for Navy. With back to 1979, they ended up 7-4. So this Navy team hopes to improve on that. After a 13-yard punt by O'Shaughnessy, Teska gets a 1.5 yards. Kelly Lawson with the stop. We take a look at the Charlotte 49ers defense. Stone Handy had a 53-yard pick 6 versus East Carolina. Reed Williford, at linebacker, needs to play well.
Williford's always around the football. One of the best linebackers in the American Conference. He's got great instincts, causes havoc. Again, against this Navy offense that runs the ball so much, it runs it between the tackles, Williford has to have a big afternoon.
Daba Fofana, the senior captain, in at fullback for Navy. We have a flag before the snap.
It's going to be offsides on the defense.
Offside. Number 7, defense. Enter the neutral zone. Created contact. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
This is a really heads-up play by the left tackle, McMahon. Watch, as soon as the defender jumps offsides, he moves his right hand and touches Stone Handy to get the offsides penalty. Really heads-up play there by McMahon.
To make sure there's contact.
Exactly, yep.
Moving Navy into 2nd and 4. Horvath is going to keep it. Horvath has a 1st down for the midshipmen. We talked all about Navy's explosive offense, but the opening drive touchdown by Teska was just the 2nd time Navy has scored on an opening drive this season.
And what I liked about that drive, Carter, is they started off running the football. First play of the game, got an explosive run. This offense is at its best when they're running the football well. It opens up those passing plays down the field.
It was also the first receiving touchdown of Alex Teska's career, coming off 2 rushing touchdowns at Air Force and that Navy win. Another fullback. God, this one's going to go for a loss. Another flag is down on 1st down.
Offside. Number 7, defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. 1st down.
It's Stone Handy again.
Yeah, and Handy's an experienced player who's got to know better than that. Played at Indiana and Auburn. Has seen a lot of college football. Let's take a look at it right here. See him right here lining up in the neutral zone. He's across the football. And he's got to be smarter than that. And you don't want to give the Navy offense, who's playing so well, those free plays to put them ahead of the sticks.
Navy had the big pass interference, but back-to-back offsides. Horvath through the air, complete on the edge. Heidenreich has it out of the backfield. Heidenreich from Horvath again.
Horvath is in such great rhythm throwing the football. Look how accurate this throw is. Could not be more in the money. The timing was perfect. And again, the run game set that play up and allowed Heidenreich to leak open.
A 3-for-3 passing start for Horvath. Almost 19 yards per target for Heidenreich. A huge offensive weapon for Drew Cronick. Ofana's in the backfield. Chapman is drilled on the sideline. Randy Franklin, the former Navy midshipman, delivers a huge blow.
Some nice play design here to get Chapman on the edge, but watch this hit by Franklin. Boom. That's a physical play by Franklin.
3 years in Annapolis, counting 1 year at the Naval Academy Prep School. Redshirt junior. Navy is not only perfect scoring, they are perfect touchdowns in the red zone. 18 for 18. Teska gets it on second down. Teska is into the end zone again. The second touchdown for Navy. The second touchdown for Teska. And the midshipmen go 19 for 19 now, touchdowns in the red zone.
This offensive line's playing so well. Watch Ben Purvis right here. The left guard pull around. Watch the blocks by the receivers. That's Heidenreich. Beautiful block, and then Purvis 64 running in open space, finding someone to hit.
Nathan Kirkwood has missed two PATs this year, including one at Air Force. The first one was a little off. This one easily good. So Kirkwood makes it 14-0 Navy. Another explosive start for the midshipmen. There was Teska with the catch and run for touchdown number 1. Walks into the end zone for touchdown number 2. 14-0 midshipmen. Early 2 touchdowns from Alex Teska. Tomorrow morning at 8 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Kick off your Sunday fun day with that other pregame show as our Tops team gets you ready for the whole slate of NFL action. Our technical director today in the truck, Mike Santasiri, will be in the studio
10,
tomorrow working on Tops. A work ethic
Charlotte
like no other. We won't even tell you what Spider's crew call is tomorrow for Tops, but it's going to be a very short night.
He's not getting much sleep.
So good luck, Spider. With our producer, Mike Pittman, director, Brian Kosowski, Carter Blackburn, Adam Brenneman, Sheehan Stanwyck Birch. From Annapolis, Maryland, Navy not even 8 minutes in. 86 yards of total offense and 2 touchdowns for Alex Teska. Lance Gossett's kickoff. And short of the end zone, Henry Rutledge, the dangerous return man for Charlotte, is drilled as he crosses the 10. Excellent coverage on both kickoffs by Navy special teams.
Now this is a big drive right here for Max Brown. Charlotte needs to put something together, get a few first downs, down 14 points, but don't need to try to win this with every throw. But for Brown here, he's got to put something together and give some confidence to Vic Poggi as head coach.
Armed Forces football is proudly supported by the Exchange. Norton is in the backfield again for Charlotte, so even though Hassan Wilson had the hot hand in their last game with 3 rushing touchdowns, they're going with Cartavius Norton. Spent 2 years at Iowa State in the backfield. Brown is picked off! Intercepted on the pass over the middle, inside the 20. Kyle Jacob has the interception. The 7th of the year for the Navy defense.
Well, Kyle Jacob read this the entire way. Watch Jacob just play his zone defense here. Max Brown's trying to get the ball to his tight end. See Jacob 43, read the eyes, and it's thrown right to him, using the hands there to get the interception. Nice play by Jacob, but Max Brown is a better player than what he's showing right there. He cannot make that throw.
On the first official pass of the day by Max Brown, he's intercepted. He had the deep ball. That was a penalty on Rayon Lane, so that would go in the stat column. But on pass number 1 for Max Brown, it's an INT. So the turnover margin goes to +8 for Navy. They take over in the red zone. Teska gets it again. He's inside the 10-yard line. Teska and Navy are just rolling over Charlotte.
And Blake Horvath is reading these option plays out so well. Watch the decisiveness of when to pitch that football. He's reading the linebacker. As soon as the linebacker steps up, he lets go of the ball to Teska. Just great execution all around by Blake Horvath.
1st and goal. It'll be 2nd and goal as Heidenreich takes it inside the 5. Navy now 19 for 19 touchdowns in the red zone.
Unbelievable. It's because their offense is so efficient in this part of the field.
Teska is is in for his 3rd touchdown of the first quarter. 1 receiving, 2 rushing touchdowns. On the first carry of the game, he goes over 1,000 rushing yards for his career. What a quarter for Alex Tecca.
That is complimentary football. When your defense gets an interception, puts your offense in the red zone, you then run the ball and get it in the end zone. See the offensive line there getting 3-4 yards of push on the goal line when everyone on defense knows that Navy's going to run the football. Such an impressive job.
Kirkwood's PAT is good, 21-0. You add up the numbers, it is 98 total yards for Tecca and 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. It started with the interception, the first of Kyle Jacobs' career. Another takeaway by the Navy D. And on the very short field, Tecca into the end zone for his 3rd TD. Touchdowns, all of them on the ground.
21,
not even 9 minutes in. 3 touchdowns and 98 yards of total offense for Tecca.
Amadeus Tecca started with the receiving touchdown with a really nice play call by Drew Cronick. Then he started running the football well, using the vision on the perimeter to get in space. Offensive line having a day as well. Alex Tecca has been dominant on the ground.
First receiving touchdown of his career, so between Heidenreich and Alex Tecca, the Mount Lebanon guys making the plays again for Navy. Gossett will kick it off with Rutledge and Wilson back.
I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm telling you, there's something different about Western PA guys, Carter.
They will tell you the same.
They're a little tougher. They care a little bit more than everybody else.
And they are proud of their Western PA roots. Wilson with a nice return gets across the 30-yard line for Charlotte. Do you change quarterbacks this early for Charlotte?
It's time. Deshaun Purdy, in their last game, Charlotte's last game, put up 55 points against East Carolina. You've seen what he can do, and he has so much talent. Max Brown, who hasn't played that much, has had 2 bad drives, a bad interception. Purdy's the guy that gives you the best chance to win this game.
Now, Purdy was injured for a while earlier this season, too, but came off the bench against Rice, led a comeback in that game, then the 55 points against East Carolina. Brown's numbers now 1 touchdown against 3 interceptions for the former Florida Gator. He hands off to Wilson, big hole up the middle. Wilson's first carry, did he lose the football? Navy's on top. Another takeaway by the midshipman as Hassan Wilson gives it away. Rayon Lane comes away with the football.
Well, Navy talks about practicing forcing turnovers, making sure that you're hitting the football, stripping at the ball. Watch the gang tackle here, and then that's Williams who actually pops the ball out with the extra hit. The second guy to the football, go for the ball. Williams there dives at it, and then Rayon Lane jumps on the ball. Opportunistic play by this Navy defense, and forcing turnovers doesn't just happen. It's something you practice and think about every single day.
2 takeaways by the Navy defense in this first quarter. Now gives them 11 turnovers forced on the season. Plus 9 turnover margin. Charlotte takes a timeout. I mean, you're going to have to regroup there, getting dominated.
And we talked to some of the Navy players, Kyle Jacob and Jackson Campbell, about how they actually practice and think about the technique of forcing a turnover. How when you're the second guy going to the ball for the tackle, you actually dive at the football. You're stripping at the ball. And sometimes you give up a missed tackle to try to force a turnover. And Navy's been one of the best at it in the country.
You spend a lot of time not only on takeaways by the defense, but red zone as well. This is a gut check time for Biff Poggi, whose team looked totally different in the last 6 quarters. You have a bye week coming into Navy. You have 2 weeks basically to prepare, and they have laid an egg so far.
Well, and what was different about the last 6 quarters and now? Their quarterback, Deshaun Purdy, was a starter those 6 quarters, and now we're seeing Max Brown in there. But this Charlotte team has to find a way to take care of the football. We saw multiple penalties already, Carter. Just can't happen, and Biff Poggi's got to be frustrated.
Saw those numbers over the last 2 years. Navy among the best in the country at forcing turnovers. Horvath, it's complete again. Heidenreich, another explosive for Navy. This one in the pass game. Horvath is perfect, 3 for 3.
This is a really nice play design to get Heidenreich a touch. Watch Heidenreich, who's going to be over here, and he's going to delay across the screen as Horvath rolls out. See Heidenreich right there? Everyone's going to the right. Heidenreich goes the other way, and he sneaks out for a big play.
Good call. The delayed misdirection for Navy. Now Fofana in the backfield as Teska gets spelled at running back. Fofana takes it inside the 20, so it is another red zone trip for Navy.
The one thing about this Navy offense is there's so much misdirection. It really tests the eye discipline of the defense, and Charlotte's struggling with it. I mean, to keep track of where all these playmakers are going, Teska and Heidenreich, it's hard to tell where everybody is on the field.
For Charlotte, Max Brown on his first pass throws an interception. Hassan Wilson's first rush, he fumbles. This has been the recipe for Navy. Option toss, Chapman on the edge. Brandon Chapman falls inside the 10. Excellent blocks on the edge for Brandon Chapman.
Brandon Chapman shows great explosiveness here. Watch as soon as he gets this ball out, he puts his foot in the ground and gets directly upfield. That is an explosive athlete for the big game.
Follows Connor McMahon inside the 10. First and goal, Navy. This will be the 16th play, 7 first downs. Navy actually hasn't been amazing in time of possession because they have so many one-play scoring drives. Horvath is going to keep it on first and goal. Good second effort. Will take him to the 6. Dante Balfour and Cam Burton combine on the tackle for Charlotte.
Charlotte's got to find a way here, this drive or in the first or second quarter, to force a turnover. They got to steal a possession. You're down 21 points right now. Navy is driving. They got to start stripping at the football, try to take some risk and come up with a turnover or a fumble.
Navy's turnover margin scoring-wise is 49-7 on the year. Trying to add to that with 7 more. Chapman goes in motion. Horvath going to keep it again. Takes it inside the 5. He's met at the 4. That'll bring up 3rd and goal with the perfect touchdown number in the red zone on the line. Ohio State, Michigan, Navy topping the perfect red zone scoring, because you really don't count field goals in the red zone. It's all about the touchdowns.
Yeah, scoring touchdowns when you get to the red zone is so critical and dictates success and who actually wins ball games. Navy's been so good at it this season. Perfect, and they're trying to stay perfect right here on 3rd down.
Horvath on the roll. Tosses to the end zone, incomplete. Looking for Heidenreich. So that will likely, yep, here they come. The kicking unit comes on for Kirkwood. So it is the first time Navy has taken it inside an opponent's 20 and kicked field goal.
I think nobody in the stadium wants Navy to kick a field goal here, but I think it's what you do. You're up 21 points. You got a chance to go up 24 on the 4-yard line, and a long 4 would be a tough fourth down to go for.
And this will be a chip shot 22-yarder, but been an adventure for Kirkwood. Had one blocked at Air Force. Just his 3rd field goal of the season. So a fumble by Charlotte, the 2nd turnover. Hassan Wilson fumbles on his first carry. Navy gets another short field. This drive ends in a field goal, but it is still 24-0 Midshipman.
Create a backyard that's out of this world. Right now, save $50 on the MS250 gas-powered chainsaw. Real STIHL. Find yours.
All right, it is all Navy, 24-0 on Charlotte. But if you're the 49ers, at least you held them out of the end zone for the first time this year.
One bright spot would be the first stop in the red zone for Navy all season long. And now Charlotte, and we'll see who comes out at quarterback. Is it Max Brown? Is it Deshaun Purdy?
Lance Gossett took over the kickoff duties after Jacob Carlson had an out-of-bounds kick in the opener. This one will be taken by Rutledge inside the 5. Drilled as he gets to the 20-yard line. Charlotte miscues, they have been abundant early by the 49ers.
When you're playing a team like Navy, you can't have mistakes. First was a botched punt about 15 yards on the punt. Just can't happen in a field position game that's so important. Then Kyle Jacob with the interception for Navy. Max Brown makes a bad throw. And Hassan Wilson, who's been playing so well for Charlotte, coughs the ball up, and Rayon Lane jumps on it for Navy. Those kind of mistakes you can't have ever in football. You certainly can't have them against a team that's playing as well as Navy is right now.
Credit Turner's step with that nice tackle on the kickoff return. Max Brown still at quarterback for Charlotte. Boost for Navy as Ira Oniha is back for the first time. He injured his leg prior to Memphis, so he's in at corner for Navy. His last game he was terrific against Temple. Kelman is the running back, so Hassan Wilson is on the bench for now for Charlotte. After the fumble, he was the star of their last game, the win over ECU. Now you go to the sophomore Kelman.
And there's a lot of game left for Charlotte, and they got to find a way to keep running the football. Just take a look at Navy's 1.6 forced fumbles per game, second in the country. Man, they've been so good at that all season long, stripping the football out. But for Charlotte, take care of the ball right here and keep it on the ground. They had success before the fumble by Wilson.
This is Norton who gets it in the backfield, and he is tripped up. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. To put a point of emphasis on that note on the fumbles, it's 18 fumble recoveries in the last year and a half for Navy, and for more, here's Sheehan.
Well, Adam, to your point, that when the offense is on the sideline, all the coaches coming up saying, we believe in you guys. There's plenty of time left. We know Navy likes to turn the ball over. Just keep your head up and keep trying.
What other message can you deliver at this point?
Navy showing 8 guys at the line of scrimmage here on third down.
You see the coverage at the sticks, too. 4 across the first down line. Pressure again, and another interception. Picked off by Rayon Lane. Will make sure that he maintained control of the football. But for now, it is the second straight takeaway by Rayon Lane.
What a play by Rayon Lane. The rangy safety with the one hand. Let's see if he brings it in. Uses the leg, the athleticism. Man, it looks like he has it. What a play by Lane. You see just the body control and what makes him such a special player.
Starts with the pressure from Reed, rather from Campbell off the edge, from Jackson Campbell.
Yeah, and we saw on that play, that third down play, Navy brought 7 guys, including Campbell off the edge, to confuse Max Brown. Didn't know where to go with the football, and having Campbell in Max Brown's face forces the errant throw, and Lane makes him pay.
Replay is taking a look at this. Ron Reynolds is our replay official on site. Collaborative replay with the American Athletic Conference as well, so they're going to make sure that Lane maintained control. We may also be looking for targeting on this play, is what the replay booth is telling our truck. So a couple different potential issues on this play. But amazingly, 3 takeaways and 3 touchdowns, and the first quarter's not done. Maintaining control is the key piece of this one.
Yeah, he's got to maintain control through the ground. It looks like he does there from our vantage point up here, from the shots we're seeing. How about that one hand on it? He's going to be telling Coach Newberry to put him at wide receiver. Say, Coach, I can catch the ball a little bit. And
Wood says a slight movement of the football is still allowed while maintaining control. So even if the football moves, you can maintain control. Call on the field, Navy interception, a fumble recovery, and an interception for Rayon Lane. We mentioned earlier he got a big penalty, got beat a couple times at Air Force. He had a pass interference early in this game, but talk about a response. The midseason All-American. We'll see if the interception holds up.
Play was reviewed for the interception. The ruling on the field stands. First down, Navy.
yeah, even though it looked like the ball hit the ground, there just wasn't enough movement there to overturn the call on the field. Good call by the officials, and what a play by Rayon Lane. PJ Volker, defensive coordinator for Navy, told us he plays his best when his best is needed, and that's a sign of a great player.
The 7th career interception or the senior Rayon Lane. He had the big 86-yard pick six to clinch the Memphis win. Teska's in the backfield. He takes it on first down and drags a couple Charlotte defenders with him. Charlie Jackson finally makes the tackle from behind, but give 10 more yards to this incredible first quarter for Alex Teska.
Teska gets north and south so fast between the defensive line, and got to give credit so far to this Navy offensive line. Brent Self at center and Purvis at left guard, McMahon at left tackle. They are getting 3-4 yards of movement before Teska even gets contacted on his runs.
Those are his rushing numbers. You add in a 46-yard touchdown reception as Horvath keeps it on 1st and 10. The numbers for Teska in the first quarter: 108 yards of total offense and 3 touchdowns.
The one thing as this game goes on and as Navy plays more games this season, Blake Horvath has to find a way to run a little bit lower to the ground. He has a tendency to run kind of high. I've seen it a couple times so far today. He's got to try to stay healthy all season long, and lowering his pads will help a lot in limiting those big hits he takes.
Last year he injured his hand against North Texas. That cut his season short. Toss on the edge. This is Isaiah Bryant, who has another Navy first down as he takes it to the 12. And what a first quarter for Navy as the seconds tick off. Here's Bryant.
Perfect timing here by Blake Horvath. Watch him wait to the last minute to pitch that ball. That's what they teach the quarterbacks in this Navy offense. Wait to the last minute to get rid of it, to allow for the open field and the open space to open up for your slot back.
Most points in a quarter this season for Navy. They had 22 in the second quarter against Bucknell. And the season opener, 3 takeaways by the defense, 3 touchdowns and a field goal from the offense. It all adds up to a dominant first quarter. Break. She and Stanwyck Birch spoke with Biff Poggi.
Coach, what do you guys need to do in the second quarter to get some momentum?
Well, we need to play sound defense, stop throwing interceptions, stop fumbling the football, and not have every single play for Navy be +6 or more. Navy has been outstanding, but we have not helped ourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a good summation by the hedge fund manager turned football coach, Biff Poggi.
You got some finance advice from him this week on our.
So get out of real estate. Yeah, Biff Poggi did very well as a hedge fund manager, and then decided to become a high school coach. Gilman and St. Francis in Baltimore, assistant to Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, and now second-year head coach at Charlotte. But yeah, I wasn't going to let that one go for free. A guy who's done that well might as well pick up some advice. On the sweep, minimal gain. Charlotte looked like they were ready for it on first down. That's close to a late hit out of bounds on Brandon Chapman, but no flag.
Really good play there by Stone Handy, number 7, who's had some mistakes in this game, but he holds the edge there on the Charlotte defense and forces the minimal gain.
The number for Navy before that rush was 7 yards per carry. That's good, but the offense was so explosive in the first, I thought it was going to be even better. They don't complain about the yardage and scoring numbers for Navy. Another red zone trip. Horvath is dropped. It's going to be 3rd and long. Here comes a flag. Dre Butler gets the stop on Horvath, but we'll check the flag.
Offside, number 23, defense. 5-yard penalty, repeat second down.
3 penalties. They've all been offsides on the Charlotte defense.
Take a look at, it looks like Charlie Jackson on the interior right there at defensive tackle was lined up in the neutral zone again. We saw that called on Stone Handy, the defensive end, a couple drives ago. Usually the refs will let the coach know, will let Biff Poggi know, hey, we're about to call the penalty here if your guys don't back up.
So give maybe 5 more yards advantage in the red zone. Horvath is dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That's a tackle for loss by Charlotte.
It's a good play here by the Charlotte defense.
Aiden Kaler gets the tackle for loss.
Aiden Kaler, number 39, jets through there. Hasn't played a bunch this season at the linebacker spot for Charlotte, but with Prince Wallace Bima, the injury on the first drive, getting some reps and good play there to bring up a third down for Navy.
The last drive ended in a field goal for the first time in the red zone. Horvath 3rd and 8. Pressured again. Completes. It will be another Navy touchdown. Horvath made that one all by himself. It goes to Cody Howard, the tight end. First touchdown catch for Cody Howard. What a play by Horvath.
That is what makes Blake Horvath so special. The ability, when the play breaks down and nothing's there, to make something out of nothing. Watch Horvath here. Most quarterbacks, this is a sack, but not Blake Horvath, and he keeps his eyes down the field, takes a shot in the chest, and then delivers a strike to Cody Howard for the touchdown. And Porter, I love the tight end touchdown early in this game. Get me fired up.
Says the former tight end as Nathan Kirkwood's PAT is good. The second passing touchdown for Horvath. The INT, the one-handed grab from Rayon Lane set it up on 3rd down in the red zone.
To Annapolis, in today's installment of Around the Academy, we focus on the U.S. Naval Academy Museum. This national treasure welcomes more than 100,000 visitors annually. Located in Preble Hall, the museum offers 2 floors of exhibits about the history of sea power and the development of the U.S. Navy, while showcasing America's great sailors and Marines.
Thank you, Sheehan. It is all Navy 31-0 on Charlotte. When we talked to Brian Newberry and everybody else for Navy on Thursday, asked Coach Newberry, if I'd have told you 5 games in you'd be averaging 44 points per game, he said, I don't know if I would have believed you. And that was really the message from Navy, and I'm sure you would say the same about a 31-0 lead early in the second quarter off of 3 turnovers by Charlotte. Henry Rutledge takes it near the goal line for the 49ers. Gets a good block. Rutledge drilled as he gets across the 30. So the points off turnover. Looks like Campbell got that big stick. This is how you get to 5-0. And if a win today, you get to 6-0. Points off turnover differential on the season is now 59-7.
The combination of Navy being able to get the football from their opponent, take the football away, and then protect it themselves is what's made them so elite this season.
New Charlotte quarterback. It is not Purdy. It is Trexler Ivy, the walk-on who started versus Indiana and Rice. Ivy gives to Kelman, shakes his way across the 45-yard line. But interesting for Charlotte. Now, Deshaun Purdy did have a bandage on his non-throwing hand in warm-ups coming out of that ECU game, but it's not Purdy off the bench. It is Trexler Ivy.
You got to think that something's going on with Deshaun Purdy after how well he played the last 6 quarters of Charlotte football. It's been the best they've played all season long, and the fact that he's not in this game yet, there's got to be more going on in the injury situation, I would assume, than what we know.
Trexler Ivy's first pass is complete on the edge. So after 2 interceptions thrown by Max Brown, as Sean Brown makes that catch. The numbers for Max Brown: 1 touchdown pass on the year, 4 interceptions. That's when you make a change.
Now Ivy looks to be a little bit of a groove here. His first 2 plays, Charlotte past midfield, nice completion there to get a first down. And now this is where Charlotte likes to take shots down the field. After they cross midfield, it's time to go score points.
Drilled in the backfield for a loss.
Luke Harris, right through the line for the tackle.
There is a flag down. Luke Pierce gets the tackle for a loss. Get the call from Edwin Lee, but looks like it is again against Charlotte. Discussion of whether Brian Newberry wants to take it or not.
Illegal shift in the offense. It's been moving and not getting reset. That penalty is declined. 2nd down.
So you take the tackle for a loss from Pierce.
Yeah, Pierce is a big, long edge defender for this Navy defense. Gets after the quarterback well. See 35 there, bottom of the screen. And Pierce just comes right off. Gets around the block by the tight end and makes a nice tackle in the backfield.
Ivy gives it to Kelman, the sophomore from Clinton, Maryland. Tackled by Matt Reyes. Now, the numbers for Charlotte, they had 8 turnovers before today. That's not terrible, but 8 coming into this game through 6 games, and then 3 in the first quarter.
Now the situation they're in doesn't bode well for turnovers either. 3rd down and 11. You got a new quarterback in Ivy. Tough spot to be in for a quarterback. More turnovers happen on 3rd down and long than any other down and distance in football. And this is where Navy can pin their ears back. And guys like Justin Reed, and Pierce can really get after the quarterback.
Trexler, Ivy, they'll run it on 3rd and 11. That's Kelman who gets to the 40, and you're kind of in no man's land. You're already down 31-0. If Charlotte keeps the offense on the field, they would go for it on 4th down for the 15th time this season.
Yeah, I mean, you're in no man's land where it's too long to kick the field goal. Down 31 points, I'd be keeping my offense out on the field. And because your chances, 4th down and 8, not great to get it, but if you do get it, it could shift momentum in this ball game and give your team some confidence when they desperately need confidence.
So a quarterback change on this drive, and now a 4th down opportunity for Charlotte. Ivy, pass it in, picked off, another interception, this one from Peel, and he will take it all the way back. Deshaun Peel, pick 6 for Navy.
That was a fantastic play by Deshaun Peel. He baits Ivy into throwing that football. Peel knows it's coming the entire way, makes Ivy think the receiver is open, and then just jets and picks it off for the touchdown.
Eye-popping, 10:24 to go in the second, the 4th turnover by Charlotte.
Peel with the instincts to know the ball was going there, the hands to catch it while he's running, and the jets to take it in the end zone. So many players on this Navy defense that can force turnovers, makes them one of the best defenses in the American Conference.
A 69-yard return from Peel. Kirkwood's PAT is good. A quarterback change for Charlotte, but the same result. Trexler Ivy comes into the game. The mission of taking care of the football. And on 4th down, throws the pick. And Deshaun Peel takes it back 69 yards. Make it 38-0 Midshipman. The quarterback, Braxton Woodson, comes off the bench in relief duty. Finds Eli Heidenreich on a 69-yard touchdown pass to start the second half, but the Midshipman defense, the stars of the day, 4 sacks and a shutout, one of 3 last season by this Navy defense. That was when the offense was sputtering. A different story here, but still a 0 on the board again for Charlotte with 4 takeaways by the Navy defense. Go back to 2008 versus Army, but 3 last year, and Navy was one of only 3 teams in the country, along with that'll be taken by Rutledge inside the 10. Good block on the edge. Henry Rutledge, the explosive return man for Charlotte, takes off. He is chased down at the 20-yard line after a huge return from Henry Rutledge.
When your team needs some confidence, sometimes a big kickoff return can give your guys some juice and some life. Nice run by Rutledge, reading it out. That's a called kickoff return to go back to the left. Nice job blocking by Charlotte's kickoff return team, and Rutledge shows some wheels down the sidelines, but his buddies are going to make fun of him there if not getting in the end zone with that much space.
Rutledge runs 79 yards before Mbidi Williams tracks him down, and credit the hustle from Mbidi Williams for preventing the kickoff return for a touchdown. It is still Trexler Ivy at quarterback, even though he threw the pick 6 on the last possession. Wilson in the backfield. He is dropped for a loss by Kyle Jacob.
What a play by Kyle Jacob. Man, he's such an impressive linebacker. Watch Jacob right here read this out, jet upfield to make the play. Goes between the block and then trusts his eyes to get in the backfield, and then the open field tackle by Jacob.
Defensive coordinator P.J. Volker said this about Kyle Jacob this week. He said he's as tough as anybody I've ever coached.
Yeah.
The senior from Paramus, New Jersey. Short gain on 2nd and 3. It's Wilson again. Wilson, who had one of the 4 turnovers by Charlotte. He pointed out before the last 3rd and long, this is where most turnovers happen. It was on 4th down for Charlotte on the last possession, but still you're 3rd and long again.
What Navy defensive coordinator P.J. Volker loves to do is show pressure. It's more the illusion of pressure than actually the pressure itself. They'll walk up a bunch of guys at line of scrimmage, make the quarterback think that they're bringing the heat, and then drop back and play coverage.
Now you're probably thinking about 4-down territory here as well.
And you're trying to get this to 4th and 4, 4th and 5 instead of a 4th down and 11 because you are in go-for-it territory.
So Ivy throws to the end zone. It is incomplete. Close to a great grab by Sean Brown, the 6th-year senior, but it is incomplete. Let's have another look.
Brown makes a nice play on the football here. It's a pretty good throw by Ivy, but yeah, looks like Brown's out of bounds. See where the foot comes down. Yeah, clearly out of bounds. Good call by the official. And now Charlotte, because they threw the ball deep instead of trying to pick up a few yards, they're in clear kick territory at 4th down and 11.
Good coverage by Greg Johnson. Rusnak trying to give Charlotte its first points versus Navy. And here's another flag. This is before the kick.
Delay game, offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Well, Biff Poggi's going to have a bunch of material to talk to his guys about at halftime. Took a while getting lined up here, and part of this, Carter, was probably the decision being made by Charlotte's coaches and Biff Poggi of if they're going to kick it or go for it. Delayed a little bit and deciding to kick the field goal, which then caused the delay of game.
Used 2 different kickers this year as Charlotte, Rusnak and Kyle Cunanan, but it's now Rusnak on for this one. He will boot it through. It is good. So 3 points on the board for Charlotte. A little boost for the 49ers. They have finally scored against Navy, but you're still down 35 in the second quarter. A battle of 2 exceptional young QBs. C.J. Stroud and the Texans travel to Lambeau to face Jordan Love's Packers. We'll get you set for kickoff beginning at noon Eastern with the NFL Today right here on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. Some of the NFL headlines on Thursday night: the dominant win for the Broncos at the Saints. Little vindication for Sean Payton. Houston 5-1 dominant win. Not so good for the Dallas Cowboys, is the way you could put it. And then Devontae Adams reunited with Aaron Rodgers with the Jets. And the headline here in Annapolis, Maryland is a stunning 38-3 lead. There's still 8:49 to go in the second quarter. Bryant brings it back for Navy. Bryant finds the sideline. He's knocked out of bounds near the 28-yard line.
You know, the sign of a great offensive coordinator is one that gets their quarterback to play their best when their best is needed. And Drew Cronick has done that with Blake Horvath. Take a look at the first 5 possessions today. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. A field goal, which everyone at Navy is going to be disappointed about. They didn't keep their perfect touchdown streak in the red zone alive, but Horvath has been so good. And Drew Cronick is just dialed in. The confidence he's giving these players is clear.
When the list for the Broyles Award comes out, top assistant in college football, guaranteed the first-year offensive coordinator of Navy will be on that list. Dials up a deep shot here for Heidenreich. It's incomplete by Horvath. Just the second incompletion by Blake Horvath. I mean, 38 on the board. They're averaging 44 a game. 5th scoring in the nation. The biggest differential, the top 4 teams on that list, all undefeated, including Army.
Yeah, Indiana just blew out Nebraska. I mean, these teams are playing really, really well, and this Navy offense could not feel more different than the one we saw last season. Just the style of play, how fast they're playing, and how confident Blake Horvath is playing.
Option keeper on 2nd and 10. Horvath takes the pop from Reed Williford. Armed Forces football is proudly supported by USAA.
Now, this is the area for Navy. Everyone says not built for 3rd down and long, right? This team is not built to be in this situation, but through the hard stretch of their season, they're going to be in these spots. So who makes plays? This is where Eli Heidenreich has to get open, where guys like Alex Teska have to find a way to win one-on-one in these 3rd down and long situations.
On 3rd and 7, Chapman goes in motion. Straight drop, Horvath, check down, completes, but short of a first down. Kent makes the catch. Elijah Culp with a big tackle, 4th down, and the punting unit is coming on for Navy.
It's a big-time tackle by Elijah Culp. Watch number 11, the corner for Charlotte. Tackle in the open field to force a 4th down. That's a one-on-one tackle that's hard for a corner to make. Nice play by Culp.
Just the 3rd catch of the year for Nathan Kent.
And there, Carter, Kent's got to find a way to knife up field and get the 1st down. I mean, he was 2 yards short. Kind of use some juke moves. Just put your foot in the ground and go get the 1st.
Riley Reithman punts it away. Henry Rutledge is back. He lets it bounce at the 25 and now scoops it up inside the 15, and he is drilled. Rutledge throws it in reverse, and it's another terrific play by Rayon Lane on special teams. You have your All-American playing on special teams, and that is why.
Let's take a look at the Navy defense today. They have been lights out, only giving up 3 points so far. Started with a big interception by Kyle Jacobs, showing the hands at linebacker, forcing the fumble. Then Rayon Lane jumps on the football. And then how about the one-handed, give me that, who needs 2 hands? We only need 1 for Rayon Lane. Then how about the pick 6 by Deshaun Peel? So many playmakers on this Navy defense that get stops and come up with big plays when it's needed.
Max Brown is back at quarterback for Charlotte. He's going to pull it, and Max Brown keeps it inbounds as he gets across the 29. With Max Brown back out there, I mean, you just have to wonder. Charlotte told us Deshaun Purdy would be available in this game, but you've gone with Brown and Ivy at QB, and we haven't seen Purdy, who really lit the fuse the last 6 quarters.
Yeah, without a doubt, Purdy's the guy that has given this offense the most life this season. You got to think he's a little bit banged up. They're trying to keep him off the field, keep him healthy.
That's Cartavius Norton with a 1st down carry. Pierce gets the stop. Let's send you back to the studio. We're checking on the SEC.
Carter, Alabama and Tennessee in Knoxville. Ryan Williams on a 5-yard touchdown catch from Jalen Milroe. 7-0 tied, early 2nd, guys.
Defensive struggle, maybe an offensive struggle there, but amazing for Tennessee defensively this year. They've been terrific, even though Alabama has the lead. Norton's in the backfield. Max Brown pulls it, dumps it off. It's Bryce Kennan, the senior tight end, who has the grab. And he is down after the play. Kennan at the 35. He goes down immediately. When Charlotte is playing well offensively, they utilize the tight ends a lot, so trying to get something going, but Kennan goes down awkwardly.
Yeah, Kennan looks like his right leg gets rolled up a little bit. Kennan's a great player for the Charlotte team. They love to use the tight end, love to get Kennan the ball in space. And for those tall guys, I mean, I know it, when you get hit low like that, those corners who are 5'10", 5'11", try to go for the knees, go for the ankles. Easy to get rolled up on.
Rayon Lane makes the tackle for Navy, but the concern is for Bryce Kennan, the senior from Waxhaw, North Carolina. So as Kennan steps off, we will head to the medical tent for Charlotte. And now 3rd and 1 coming up for Charlotte. Well, we're going to have a review on this play. All right, replay wants to have a look at this. Ron Reynolds again is our replay official, collaborative replay with the American office. Does the ball come out is the question. And where is the football?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're looking at. Did the ball come out there, and does Navy end up with this football during the tackle?
It would be Rayon Lane again. Look, the football's in Rayon Lane's hands.
Lane's got the ball. Now let's take a look at whether Kennan's knee was down, whether he's up right there. There he's down. Man, that looks close. I mean, another great play by Lane to reach and grab for the football when there's 2 guys making a tackle. Navy has been so good at that all season.
2 takeaways already by Rayon Lane. This would be the 3rd of the 1st half. Now, unfortunately, Kennan is injured on the play, but Lane clearly comes away with the football. Let's hear the call.
After further review, the ruling on the field that the runner's forward progress was stopped before the ball came out stands. Third down, Charlotte.
Good review, but that's critical. The forward progress stopped that play, not a knee down.
Yeah. But man, I mean, the Charlotte offense has to find a way to tuck the football away. Too many close calls, and Navy's been way too good at it. But now this Charlotte offense, 2 good plays. Max Brown's in rhythm a little bit, ran the ball on first down and put their offense in a good position here. 3rd down and 1 where you can call anything. Pass game's alive here. You could run the football.
Charlotte is below 30% now on the season on 3rd down. But they will pick up a first down here as Ramos steps up to make the tackle on Norton, but Charlotte has its first 3rd down conversion of the game.
Yeah, good run there by Norton. That play was designed to hit on the left side, but he cuts it back to the right to pick up the first down.
Now concern for Navy as Kyle Jacob is on a knee. Jacob, who had the interception earlier, one of 4 takeaways by the Navy defense. I told you earlier, P.J. Volker said as tough as he's ever coached. So for Kyle Jacob to be down on a knee, it's significant.
And now, one of the biggest things that Brian Newberry's got to be thinking about up 38-3 is your team's got to stay healthy. And your best players have to be healthy. Next game against Notre Dame, right. I mean, that's got to be in the back of his mind. I know it's the 2nd quarter, but that's something to watch here throughout the game is at what point does this thing get out of hand, and at what point is it time to protect Kyle Jacob and Blake Horvath and Rayon Lane, some of your best players.
Because Navy and Army could possibly be on a collision course for the American Athletic Championship game, raising the possibility of Army, Navy in back-to-back weeks, as bizarre as that would be. Both have Notre Dame still on the schedule, but that's non-conference.
Yeah, and for the first time ever, Navy controls their own destiny. If Navy wins out and beats Notre Dame, they will make the college football playoff. They will have won the AAC, they would have beaten Notre Dame, and they'll be in. They'll be in the big dance, and that's part of being in the conference, part of the new expanded playoff, and Navy's got to be thinking that at all times.
Brown, flea flicker. Max Brown takes the shot. It is complete. They pull off the flea flicker. We'll see who. Colin Weber makes the catch on the flea flicker. Charlotte goes to the trick play for their best play of the day.
Well, Charlotte's coming off a bye week, which means they're going to have some trick plays that the coaches have thought about. Nice design here by offensive coordinator Mike Miller. Double reverse, toss back to the quarterback Brown, and Brown makes a nice accurate throw to Colin Weber for the explosive play.
28 yards, longest play of the day by far for Charlotte. Norton dragged down from behind. Andrew Duhart gets the tackle from behind.
Norton is a tough runner in there. I mean, he's picking up yards after contact. Watch Norton here hit the hole pretty hard, and then once he gets contacted, finds a way to spin around and get a few extra yards. I mean, it's a good-looking running back, and this Charlotte team needs to find a way to get their run game going in this game to keep it from being an absolute blowout.
I mean, obviously, East Carolina is a different team than Navy, but 6 rushing touchdowns in their last game against the Pirates. Brown gives it again. Here's Norton. Feed him again. Norton has the hot hand in the running back rotation for Charlotte. Takes it to the 20. Rayon Lane again makes another tackle.
Now that Charlotte's able to run the football well, and they're running it this drive, Navy's going to start thinking about that run game. Load the box a little bit. Guys like Mbidi Williams and Rayon Lane will come load the box, and then Charlotte can go to that play action pass they love to go to with their tight ends. This would be a great time, 1st down and 10, to get those tight ends on a play action down the field.
Job number 1, they haven't turned it over, even though that play by Kennan was close. Pressure up the middle from Navy. So Brown is chased. Heaves to the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown Charlotte. Omega Blake with a terrific grab at the back of the end zone. Charlotte finally has a touchdown against Navy.
Well, there's the shot down the field on 1st down. Run the football well. Go play action. Let's see if Blake comes down with his ball. I mean, nice strong hands there by Blake. Yep, looks like a catch. Perfect execution, battling through the defensive back's hands. That's what makes Omega Blake such a great player. He has the speed, but also the strength to go up and get that football. That's called a 50-50 ball, but really an 80-20 ball when it's Omega Blake.
He spent 3 years at South Carolina, had 2 touchdown catches as a Gamecock, 4 touchdown catches in his junior year for Charlotte. He had 153 yards against Rice on just 5 catches. PAT is good from Rusnak. All right, so Navy, we flash back to 2 weeks ago in Colorado Springs, the first leg of the Commander-in-Chief Trophy. Navy rolls past Air Force 34-7 for their first win at Air Force since 2012. Only 56 days to go in the countdown to the Army-Navy game presented by USAA. Tune in Saturday, December 14th on CBS Sports. And what seemed like an impossibility at the beginning of the season, Army's in the American. They could meet for the American Championship. How do you see the rest of the schedules playing out?
There's not one team on Navy's schedule that wants to play Navy right now. Notre Dame, I mean, their coaches are going to be thinking Marcus Freeman. This is not a Navy team that anyone wants to play with how well they're playing. Again, if Navy wins out, they control their own destiny, but how cool is it just for college football that Army and Navy are playing as well as they are, and both really with revamped offenses. Blake Horvath is playing like one of the best in the country. So is Bryson Daly at Army. I mean, just a really cool dynamic here, and it's going to be fun to see how this thing plays out down the stretch.
Army-Navy game on CBS will be a non-conference matchup, even though Army and Navy are both in the American now. It will also take place after Selection Sunday when the college football playoff bracket comes out. Rusnak's kickoff. Isaiah Bryant catches it on the fly at the 10. Bryant across the 15, has a seam, takes it across the 25, across the 30 before he is finally brought down. Bryant has 23 yards on the return. Randy Franklin, the former Navy midshipman, gets the stop on special teams. Horvath 5 for 7. I mean, 2 touchdown passes on 5 completions is excellent efficiency.
The efficiency is what makes this offense so good. They don't throw the football a ton, but when they do, it is for big plays. And most importantly, Blake Horvath has delivered when the plays are there. It's one thing to scheme it up, but if your quarterback isn't accurate when the plays are there down the field, it doesn't matter. Horvath has executed at a high level.
Horvath running the option, elects to keep it, shakes his way across the 40-yard line away from the Charlotte defense. A gain of 11 on a nifty run for Blake Horvath.
Yeah, Horvath, phenomenal job reading this again. Watch 15 stretch outside, and once Horvath sees that, he jets it up himself. 15 expands, Horvath keeps it himself. Great execution, nice read there by Horvath.
Rushing yardage now for Horvath, 26 yards. Hands off to Alex Teska on 1st and 10. Teska gets a good push to the 49-yard line. I mean, Navy's running it now, but bring up this note for Horvath. With 2 TD passes, he's now tied for second most in program history already in just game number 6. 9 TD passes in this more wide open offense for Navy. As we come up on the 2-minute timeout of the first half, a dominant first half performance by 25th ranked Navy, a 38-10 lead on Charlotte. Navy tries to go 6-0 for the first time since 1979.
No, Angela.
Some patches of various squadrons. Brent Stover, Kevin Carter, and Beanie Wells get you caught up on this game and all of the other action around the country. It's all coming up on the Ram Trucks halftime report. Now let's take a look at the AP Top 10 powered by Ram Trucks. You have the top 5 matchup in Austin tonight. But Michigan trails Illinois 13-0 on CBS.
Yeah, Brett Bielema's got his guys playing some good football in Illinois. They're throwing the football around. Luke Altmaier playing well. Oregon with the big win last night, 35-0 against Purdue. Dylan Gabriel, Oregon quarterback's been lights out. Big Ten, it's going to be wide open.
Horvath keeps it on 2nd down and has another first down for Navy as he takes it to the 45. Randy Franklin, again the former Navy player, gets the stop. The mids move the chains.
This is a spot where Navy, once they cross midfield, Drew Cronick likes to dial up some kind of perimeter play, shot play down the field on 1st down and 10.
Left Mercer as a head coach to become the offensive coordinator at Navy in year 1. Nothing but good returns. Here's Horvath. There's the play action. There's your shot. Caught inside the 25-yard line. It is Brandon Chapman. Let's see if it's caught. No, it's incomplete. Dropped it at the end. Brandon Chapman, it was dislodged from Brandon Chapman's hands. And injury for Charlotte at the end of the play.
And that was a perfect throw by Blake Horvath right in the chest of Chapman.
Randy Franklin is down. So Biff Poggi out to check on Randy Franklin, who again spent 3 years in Annapolis. He was fired up to play Navy today. Franklin 43. You see him collide with Ali Ali, a safety who dislodged it from Chapman. And Franklin, thankfully, able to walk off the field.
The Charlotte defensive coordinator Ryan Osborne told us how much this game means to Randy Franklin. Normally hasn't played that much this season, but Franklin playing more today in that nickel spot where he can be a bigger body at 6', 200 to play against Navy, who loves to run the football.
So Navy does take the shot on first down. We'll see how they play with 1:29. Still 3 timeouts from the 44. Chapman goes in motion. Horvath. Heidenreich makes the grab, but only for a couple yards on the completion to Heidenreich. So that's going to bring up 3rd down for Navy. Charlotte takes a timeout. Biff Poggi wants to save some clock.
Yeah, and that's the risk of taking the shot on first down. Like I said, is the clock stops, and now Charlotte's going to try to get this football back. You know, Carter, the thing that Drew Cronick has done such a good job of is you get paid as a coordinator to get your quarterback to play well. That is your #1 job, and he has gotten Blake Horvath to play more confident than he's ever played. We were talking to Horvath in our meeting, and he said he feels like he almost can tell what Drew Cronick's going to call from a play call standpoint. When he calls a play, he can feel it coming. When he calls it, he knows why Cronick is calling it. That connection has been great this season, and Cronick deserves a ton of credit for just giving this Navy offense new life and new confidence.
When we talked to Drew Cronick, I said the same thing. All right, you're averaging 44 points per game, 5th in the nation. What if I told you that was the result 5 games in? He said, yep, I would have taken it.
Yeah.
In an understated moment from Drew Cronick.
He said he'd be surprised, but he would have taken it.
So out of the Charlotte timeout, 3rd and 8. Horvath, straight drop, incomplete. That's one of the few bad misses by Horvath that was intended for Nathan Kent. 4th and 8. Punting unit comes on for Navy.
Yeah, just a miss there by Blake Horvath. Looked like one of the defensive ends might have gotten a hand up. I don't think they tipped it, but Horvath has to find a way to complete that pass. He had Kent open on the perimeter. It might have been a first down.
And Henry Rutledge, who had the 79-yard kickoff return for Charlotte, is back. The punt return. Reetham's last punt was 48 yards. He will try to hang this one high. Rutledge, fair catch, has it inside the 10. 1:14 to go before halftime. Well, you take your pick. Who's been better, defense or offense for Navy?
Well, the scoring started for Navy with the pass from Horvath to Teska on the first drive of the game. Then Teska decides to run one in himself as well. Receivers blocking downfield. Look at that movement by the offensive line. And then Horvath with the scramble drill to Cody Howard for the touchdown. And this defense, even the defense scoring points today. Peel with the pick 6. Great play by the corner. And this Navy offense and defense can do no wrong this afternoon.
Doubt Charlotte will be very aggressive here when you turn it over 4 times. You got it inside your own 10. But we'll see. Never know. You're down 38-10, so Jordan gets the handoff, jumps across the 25-yard line. Kyle Jacob makes a stop. He's back on the field for Navy. So points per game leaders after 18 points per game last season for Navy. Amazing to see them on the list. 38 already today.
And it's amazing with the style of play Navy has, that they're able to score as many points when they're running the football as much as they are, running it for 300 yards a game. I mean, the fact that they're scoring so fast and at such a high clip is remarkable.
Incompletion by Brown, and Charlotte's in danger of giving Navy another chance before the half.
Yeah, and Navy's still with 3 timeouts, and that's why would you throw the football there? I'm shocked. They ran the ball on first down. Why would you not just keep that ball on the ground? And for Biff Poggi, go to halftime and try to reset everything. I mean, Navy's going to have a chance here to get the ball back, and they have 3 timeouts. So if they run the ball here, Navy will call a timeout and get it back on a punt.
Probably good field position. And Navy will stop here. They'll definitely have a shot. Brown on 3rd and 3. On the draw, Brown picks up the first down and gets to the 25-yard line as Luke Pierce pops him. Clock stops temporarily inside of 2 minutes on the first down.
Nice 3rd down call here, just quarterback draw. That's what Max Brown does bring to the game, is he can run at the quarterback position. And now with a first down, Charlotte's going to try to go again and play fast.
Are you surprised they're being this aggressive? Well, deep in your own territory, there's another dangerous pass. It's incomplete.
Now that they got the first down, I'm not surprised. I am surprised on how they threw the ball on the 2nd down we saw. But once you get your first down, might as well try to go here and make something happen. But that was close to being a pick 6 right there. Max Brown can't throw it late across the field.
Ramos, had a chance at that one.
Yeah.
Intended for the tight end Weber. Again, it stops the clock. 31 seconds. Brown, who's thrown 2 interceptions in this half. Back out there for the last 2 drives for Charlotte. On 2nd and 10, Brown steps up. Brown will scramble out of the pocket, dives for a Charlotte first down to the 37-yard line. Ramos makes the stop. So they're playing this as if it's an end-of-game 2-minute situation for Charlotte. Trying to somehow get back in this game. They spike it, stop it with 18 seconds, preserving a timeout.
Save their timeout here, and they're going to give themselves a couple shots down the field to try to get in the field goal range, saving that timeout for the field goal. That's how they'll play this now, is try to get a first down, spike it again with the clock stopping, starting when the chains get set, spike the ball, and try to preserve your 1 timeout.
Rusnak did have a 54-yarder, their kicker, earlier this year versus Gardner-Webb. Charlotte came back to win that game.
And Navy needs to know here that QB run game up the middle is still alive because of Charlotte having that timeout. So can't vacate the middle like they did the last couple plays.
The 49ers do have 2 come-from-behind wins, Gardner-Webb and Rice. Down by 28 at this point. Brown pulls it again. See if he can get to the first down marker, and he does. 9 seconds. Still 1 timeout for Charlotte. And out of bounds for Max Brown as well.
See if he picked up the first down here. It looked like he got it. Nice awareness there by Brown and knowing where the sticks are. Gave him the first down and getting out of bounds.
So we wondered how Charlotte would play this. Took it inside their own 10 late in the first half, but aggressive, and it's paid off at this point.
Now Charlotte's going to try to get this ball about 15 yards downfield with 1 play here, 9 seconds left.
Brown drops, time in the pocket, trying to get his receivers open downfield. He takes off for the sideline. He is out of bounds. There's 3 seconds. Now 2 seconds. Well, they're going to have to put a couple seconds back on the clock.
Looks like they might have rolled him in bounds there.
Carolina, but Navy's defense dominant. Ramos already has 7 tackles. Rayon Lane, 2 takeaways. Kyle Jacob, 2 takeaways. Deshaun Peel, pick 6. A 38-10 lead. That's one of the upmen for Charlotte, who's ridden out of bounds by Rayon Lane around the 40. Let's check in with Sheehan.
Well, guys, I caught up with head coach Brian Newberry for Navy, and he was so pleased with the fast start that Navy had, and really wants to make sure that his team keeps a foot on the gas. He says we got to learn to finish teams off, and they want to make it really important note to start fast in the second half.
Gus McGee, the up man who brought that back for Charlotte. 38 on the board at the half. I mean, it's just an unbelievable first half by Navy. First carry goes to Norton of the first half. Saw a little juice, as they say, by Charlotte offensively. At the end of the half, Norton starts off with a 10-yard run.
Now, Charlotte head coach Biff Poggi is telling his guys at halftime, and just talked to them probably and said, listen, 28-point deficit. Crazier things have happened, but you can't try to do it all in one play. For Max Brown, let the game come to you here. Let's run the football a little bit, get the ball in the perimeter, quick throws. Don't try to do too much, but this is still a ball game, and I'm sure Biff Poggi was telling his guys that.
Max Brown's first game back after he injured his finger against North Carolina September 7. Norton with another solid gain on first down. So Brown throws 2 INTs in that first half. We saw Trexler Ivy come into the game, the 5th-year junior walk-on. We have not seen Deshaun Purdy, who lit it up for Charlotte in the last 6 quarters prior to this game.
And to Sheehan's point about her talk with Coach Newberry, this is where Navy's defense has to step up and really finish teams off. They've been kind of a bend but don't break defense all season. Up 28 points, this is where it's time to really play hard.
On 2nd and 3, Norton shakes his way, takes a big pop, but has another first down for Charlotte.
Norton with the carry to the right side. Campbell with the stop for Navy.
Norton's able to pick up another first down here, and see, there's really nowhere for him to go, but he has the speed to then bounce that to the outside and pick up a first down. Charlotte with a fresh set of downs here across midfield, putting a little drive together to start the second half.
Now we'll go back to Hassan Wilson, who had a fumble in the first half, but 3 touchdown carries in their last win. Nothing much doing on first down. Good play by Jackson Campbell, but all of the defensive numbers for Navy are terrific. That's what happens when you have 4 takeaways and a half. The numbers look really good.
Yeah, there's so many players on this Navy defense playing well. That play right there, Justin Reed had a great play where he didn't make the tackle, but he held the edge there of the defense. And what happens with these this Navy defensive line is Reed and Pierce and Whiteside, these guys that are playing with their hand on the dirt, eat up blocks, which allows Jacob and Ramos, their great linebackers, to get off blocks and make plays.
Reed had a sack in the first half, his 4th of the year. Play fake. Max Brown's going to tuck it and run. Ridden down by Rayon Lane at the 27. Kyle Jacob got him by the feet, and then Rayon Lane finishes it off.
Third down coming up here for Charlotte. This is where they got to find Omega Blake, their star receiver, one of the best players on this field, could play anywhere in the country. He has to find a way to win right here on 3rd down and 5.
Blake has only 1 catch. I mean, there's only 4 completions by Charlotte. One of them to Omega Blake, one of them the touchdown to Colin Weber.
Here's Blake 101.
3rd and 5, opening possession of the second half for the Charlotte 49ers. Going to keep it on the ground on 3rd and 5. Norton drilled maybe a yard, and you're thinking about 4th down for that 3rd down play call.
They got to be running. They got to be going for it on 4th down to run the ball there, try to give them a little bit more of a manageable 4th down situation. And I'd like to see them be more aggressive on 3rd down and try to pick it up right there instead of trying to get yourself to a more manageable 4th down. Between 4th and 3 or 4th and 5, not a huge difference.
Charlotte had the pick 6 on their only 4th down attempt of the first half. They are below 50% on 4th down on the season now. Brown, quick drop to the outside. It's incomplete. Batted away by Deshaun Peel, who has been terrific at corner today for Navy. It was intended for the tight end Clemens. Well, Peel adds to his tremendous day with a pass breakup. And a stop for the Navy defense on 4th down.
Focusing on Teddy Roosevelt's time with the Rough Riders and his military leadership as president. Pretty impressive.
Indeed, and Sheehan on the field. Ramos impressive again. He came into this game 5th in the nation in tackles, has 8 tackles already. Horvath pulls it on 1st down, and at the end of that last play by Charlotte, the 4th down stop, there was a 15-yard penalty on Omega Blake that was tacked on. So Navy gets it at the 46 after that penalty, but there is an injured midshipman. It's Cody Howard who's down. Howard, who missed the first 2 games with a knee injury, has a touchdown catch today, but presently on the field for Navy.
And the Navy coaches have been excited about Howard and getting him back, which has been a big part of this offense, involving the tight ends more than Navy has in years past.
So as the Navy training staff tends to Cody Howard, we step aside.
Kamala supports taxpayer.
5 undefeated teams in conference play in the American Athletic Conference. Army has already won. Navy has a 38-10 lead on Charlotte. 49ers are 2-0 coming into this one in the American. Let's go back to the last play. The injury, Cody Howard, who had his first career touchdown catch in the first half and gets rolled up by Cam Nichols.
Yeah, see 83 there. Cam Nichols just falls on him around the pile. That's where you got to keep your feet hot. You never know who's going to be falling on you. But Cody Howard's former receiver, converted to tight end to play in this new Navy offense. Navy's going to want him back throughout the rest of this season.
2nd and 5. Daba Fofana gets the handoff, bounces it outside, and then is ridden down. Another good play from Randy Franklin. Remember, Franklin, a former Navy player, went down in the first half, so Charlotte happy to see him back out there. He is playing aggressively.
It was a really good play by Franklin at that outside linebacker spot, seeing the run and then triggering on the football. That brings up a 3rd down and 4. See what Charlotte decides to do. Do they bring pressure? Do they play off? And I think Charlotte's got to try to make a play here on defense, try to bring the house and cause some havoc for Blake Horvath.
3rd and 4, fumble by Horvath. He picks it up. It's popped at the 49-yard line and falls forward to the 50. Balfour finishes it off. Horvath critically able to get the football back in his hands.
Most quarterbacks, when this happens, would just jump on this football. But watch Horvath after he bobbles the snap, totally his fault there, but picks it up and finds a way to get back close to the line of scrimmage. That's an athletic play by Horvath, and heads up to feel that all the defense was rushing upfield, and he had the hole in the middle of the defense.
Navy does not have a lost fumble this season. They had one at Air Force that was overturned by Alex Teska, so gone since August 31st since a turnover of any kind for Navy. They had 2 INTs in the opener, 0 fumbles lost. That is not a fair catch. Wow. Rutledge drilled by Rayon Lane again. Reithman and Lane combine on special teams. Rutledge decides to catch this one. He will regret the decision. Charlotte gets it inside the 5.
On CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. By Ram Trucks, built to serve. And by today's military.
Navy's last bowl appearance was 2019 when the midshipmen knocked off Kansas State in the Liberty Bowl for their 11th win of the season. With a win today against Charlotte, the midshipmen will once again be bowl eligible. Bowl eligible for the first time under Brian Newberry, his 2nd year as Navy head coach. Rayon Lane, a tremendous defensive game today for Navy. Norton takes a pop. Really good article, NavySports.com recently by Gary Lambrecht about Rayon Lane's decision to stay at Navy after his freshman year, put his name in the portal, got offers Notre Dame, UCLA, Ole Miss, but stated, ultimately, I've got a lot of love for the academy and for my teammates. He's on track to earn his degree in quantitative economics. 9 tackles, a forced fumble, and an INT today for the midseason All-American.
Lane can start at most places around the country. Power forward. He's got so many great skill sets at safety. Rangy, strong, but he's also smart back there.
Max Brown draw. McShann gets the stop. 3rd down and short. And remember, Rayon Lane had the early pass interference in this game. And boy, has he bounced back since then.
He's been all over the place, and he struggled a little bit against Air Force too a couple weeks ago for Navy, but has bounced back completely, and is, that's a sign of a great player. Someone, when things don't always go well, to be able to bounce back and make plays. And now with all the success Navy has, Rain's got a chance to be an All-American at the end of this season.
3rd and 2. Brown, hands on, drop to the backfield. Colin Ramos gets the tackle for loss on 3rd and 2. Ramos blows up another one.
Man, this was a great play by Ramos. Watch Ramos right here. This linebacker is going to come inside, and Ramos fires off the edge to make the play, right on the run. That is a big-time play by Ramos. Man, impressive job in the tackle to bring up the big 4th down.
Ramos now has 10 tackles, 1 for loss in this game. That is 66 tackles for not even 6 complete games for Colin Ramos. Flag down before the punt out of the end zone.
Full start. Number 38, offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Well, Charlotte has made another change. This one on special teams. They've gone to the backup punter. This is Bronson Long. Remember, Michael O'Shaughnessy had a 13-yard punt in the first half. So every position has turned into a position battle here in the second half for Charlotte. Heidenreich, fair catch. Navy's going to get it at the 40-yard line.
Yeah,
so it's not a takeaway by the Navy defense officially, but they get great field position to the offense. Tonight, 8 Eastern, close out your day with some more college football as another service academy hits the gridiron. Air Force welcomes Colorado State right here on CBS Sports Network. A banner year for Air Force last season. Not so much this season. Last season, I mean, it was Air Force all over Colorado State. That was a different Air Force team. So the Navy defense, with the help of another costly penalty against Charlotte, forces the punt. The offense takes over at the 40. Teska's in the backfield with Horvath. Heidenreich goes in motion. Horvath pulls it, shakes his way across the 35. Dives forward. What a tough run by Blake Horvath. He shook the first defender and then carries a couple 49ers with him.
Offensive line did a great job there blocking downfield. Javon Bouton pulling for his quarterback, laid a big block. And Horvath finds a hole behind him.
11-yard gain for Horvath. Horvath 47 rushing yards on the day. Teska takes it on the dive. Flag down. No flag, apparently. Well, it's 2nd and 9. Horvath keeps it again. Shakes a couple more Charlotte defenders, and he has another Navy first down. A 9-yard gain for Horvath before Williford makes the stop.
Watch this move by Horvath. Little 1-2 fake step. The defensive end expands outside, and Horvath keeps it himself, man. He such a great runner with the football in his hands. That's really where I feel like this offense is at its best, when they're using the quarterback run game. Now the risk is you're running your quarterback a ton, but Horvath with the football in his hands is one of the most dynamic players on this team.
Second most among FBS quarterbacks. Only Bryson Daly of Army has more. Horvath is going to throw it on 1st and 10 to the end zone. Wide open touchdown, Navy. Brandon Chapman hauls it in. Horvath has his 3rd touchdown pass of the game.
A great play call there by Drew Cronick. Really nice design. The fake handoff. See how Horvath sells it there, pulls up himself, and then finds Chapman running across the defense. The safeties of Charlotte there bit up on the fake run. And that's what happens when Navy runs the football as well as they do. It opens up that downfield passing game.
20 total touchdowns on the season now for Horvath. Kirkwood misses another one. The 3rd missed PAT of the year by Nathan Kirkwood. So that puts a little damper on the celebration for Navy, but regardless, Horvath finds Chapman in the end zone. The 10th passing touchdown of the 3rd. We're not calling this one already for Navy, but Army with a dominant win today over ECU, 45-28. So Army is now 7-0 on the year, 6-0 atop the American.
Yeah, and North Texas is playing good football. Tulane's playing really well right now. this Army-Navy, how it's going to play out the rest of the season. Obviously, Navy with Notre Dame next week, not a conference game. Both those teams control their own destiny. If one of them wins out, they're in the playoff.
So Army and Navy still both have Notre Dame on the schedule, so that doesn't count for the American, but would count towards trying to play your way into the college football playoff. If you win the conference championship, that's a must. Wilson takes this, and finally is upended as he gets to the 19. McShann with another terrific special teams play for Navy. Armed Forces football is proudly supported by ServPro. Some of those standings. Charlotte came into this game 2-0. They beat Rice, had a dominant win over East Carolina, but it is totally different today. I mean, Navy's really proven itself.
I mean, yeah, and you think about how good Charlotte looked against East Carolina. 55 points they put up on offense, dominated on the ground, ran for 300 yards. And this Navy defense deserves a ton of credit for how they've stopped the run. And most importantly, they've gotten turnovers in big moments in this game.
Max Brown fakes the handoff, goes to the air, downfield shot. That's a nice throw. Best of the day by Max Brown. It's to Bryce Kennan.
That is a big-time throw by Max Brown. Could not have been more perfect. Look how that's a beautiful football right between the corner and the safety. And then Kennan does a nice job securing the catch, knowing he's about to get hit. You see the talent that Brown has. He can run the football. He has a live arm, a big arm, but he's got to be smarter and make quicker decisions between the ears. Excuse me.
Gain of 21. Brown goes to the air again. Another deep shot caught, stumbling down inside the 20-yard line. Miles Burns hauls it in.
Burns just gets open one-on-one on a deep post route, but another beautiful throw by Brown, right on the money. Maybe a slightly underthrown, which forces Brown to fall down, but Burns, excuse me, but man, another play by Max Brown where you see the arm strength he has down the field to make big-time throws.
A 48-yard catch by the freshman Burns. Ira O'Neha is going to walk off the field for Navy, and that's a blow for the midshipman because he was just back from injury.
Now that's 2 plays in a row down the field that Navy's given up big passes, and it's on the secondary, but also this Navy defensive line has to find a way to get to Max Brown and get to the quarterback to force some bad throws.
Son Wilson hit by Ramos again. Another tackle for Colin Ramos.
Not only does Ramos see it so well, he trusts what he sees, and there's a difference. Linebackers who see it, they delay a little bit and second guess it, but Ramos just fires out of a cannon as soon as he sees his read and comes up with big tackles like that one. Ramos 11.2 tackles per game, top 5 in the country. There's some great names on there. Nick Anderson at Wake, Sean Dolak at Buffalo. One of the best in the nation.
And Ramos now has 11 tackles in this game. Second and 10. Brown delivers to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Thomas has the grab in the back of the end zone. Touchdown 49ers.
Well, that's the drive that Charlotte wanted this entire game. To be able to throw the football down the field. Look at this catch by Dwayne Thomas. Up in the air, attacks the football. Looks like he got his foot down and secures the catch. Let's take a look. Yep, foot down, that's a catch. Controls it through the ground. And that's the matchup that if Charlotte was going to exploit anything, it's their receivers on the Navy corners and the Navy secondary. And P.J. Volker, Navy defense coordinator, can't be happy with that drive, giving up so many explosive passes.
2 INTs thrown by Max Brown, but now 2 touchdown passes as well for the former Florida Gator. Rusnak's PAT is good. You saw the flashes by Max Brown on this drive, why he is the starting quarterback when they've had 3 different quarterbacks start a game for Charlotte this year, but Brown flashes really well.
Yeah, one of the things that football guys stat for quarterbacks is BTT, big time throws, and there were 3 of them for Max Brown on that drive. There was the one to the tight end Kennan, that was the one down the field, and then Dwayne Thomas with the touchdown catch. And that throw in the red zone is really tough, right over the fingertips of the defender. You see the talent Max Brown has. Now it's just putting it all together for a complete game.
A 48-yard reception on that play by Miles Burris, his first catch of his Charlotte career. Sets up the touchdown grab for Dwayne Thomas Jr. Just his second catch of the season, goes for a touchdown for the 49ers. Navy's prepared for an onside kick already by Charlotte. Charlotte has attempted 2 onside kicks already this year, converted on neither one. Snack. Mid-range kick, that's a fair catch at the 25. Let's take a look for the big drive of the game, brought to you by Subaru. The last possession for Navy. Horvath was just tough.
Yeah, Blake Horvath has operated this offense so well, running the football. The little juke move right there. Then how about the touchdown pass to Chapman for the Navy drive at a halftime? Blake Horvath has been so impressive today. 7 of 11, passing 117 yards. How about 13 rushes for 56 yards? He's doing it on the ground and with his arm.
Horvath said, "I feel comfortable throwing the ball this year." Option quarterback in high school. Running the option mostly at Navy, but a more wide open offense this year. He was ready to throw it, and he's shown it as Fofana gets nothing on first down.
Horvath has really developed into a true pro-style passer. I mean, his mechanics are great back there, the timing with his feet, how he delivers the football accurately, and then he makes very quick decisions of where he's going to go with the football. And you combine that with the offense Navy runs and their ability to run the football and dominate on the line of scrimmage. It's why this offense is one of the hardest to stop in the country.
Show a tight formation and then go to 3 wide. Horvath out of the gun. On 2nd and 10. Fake the handoff. Incomplete. Intended for Heidenreich. Trying to sneak one to Eli Heidenreich again. Elijah Culp there in coverage. Quickly 3rd and 10.
Now the Charlotte defense has to find a way, 3rd down and 10, to get to Blake Horvath here. This is a situation where Navy's almost has to throw the football. Stone Handy, number 7. Kelly Lawson, 17. Got to find a way to get there.
It's defensive coordinator Ryan Osborne.
Fun combo with him this week.
Said we're built to beat a team like this. Well, it hasn't played out that way.
Hasn't quite happened.
But you got to love the confidence. Horvath, 3rd and 10. Deep shot, incomplete. He was looking for Brandon Chapman. So 4th down, that's a rare for this Navy team, 3 and out.
Horvath just kind of threw that football out of bounds, and when it's 3rd down and 10, reserve the right to punt, right? I like that decision by Horvath.
So after a terrific drive on the ground for Horvath, couple incompletions, quick 3 and out. Riley Reithman on the punt. Henry Rutledge again at the great kick return, back on the punt return for Charlotte.
Charlotte's going to come after this punt.
They're coming after
try to block it.
Zeros on the play clock. Delay a game. Yep, delay a game.
Yeah, the Navy punt team was making calls there to try to block the rush from Charlotte. And the guy who's responsible for making calls on the punt team, just like a quarterback, is the one who also is responsible for the snap count. Just a mistake there on delay of game.
Hasn't been all clean for Navy. You have another missed PAT by Kirkwood. You have that kick return by Rutledge. Now a penalty. Here comes another flag as Reithman hangs this one high. Rutledge gets it at the 25. Returns to the 36. Another good return from Rutledge, but again, a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
I think it's going to be a procedure penalty against Navy.
Ramos down there on punt coverage for the tackle. Gives him 12 tackles in the game.
You got to love that. You're one of your best players on defense playing on punt team, running down and making tackles in open field.
One of the 4 plays in the backfield. Offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
All right, so Charlotte is going to make Navy punt it again, and clearly they're going to come after it again, try to get the punt block. But back-to-back penalties on the punts by Navy. Reapman will try it again.
Yeah, now this is the backed up situation where block punts are more likely to happen than any other place in football. Look at Charlotte overloading everyone on the right side here to try to block this kick.
49ers come after it. Reapman gets it away. Rutledge calls for a fair catch this time and grabs it at the 46. So short field for the Charlotte offense. Let's check in with Sheehan.
Well, guys, I got an update on Navy tight end Cody Howard. He got rolled up earlier this quarter. He's now on the sideline. He's got a walking boot on his right ankle. Not good news.
Well, that is not good news. And again, Howard missed the first 2 with a knee injury. He projects to be a weapon in this offensive system. Had the touchdown grab in the first half, but that would be a big blow for Navy.
Yeah, he brings a receiving element to the tight end room for Navy. And like you said, had the touchdown, was able to get open on that play. He's got some athleticism.
Third quarter advantage Charlotte. 49ers have to like the fight they've seen so far. Max Brown touchdown drive last time takes another deep shot downfield. It is intercepted again. Deshaun Peel's second INT of the game. And he will bring it back, and he has another chance. Peel inside the 25. Deshaun Peel has his second pick 6 of the game for Navy.
What a play by Deshaun Peel, undercutting the throw there by Max Brown. That was a phenomenal play. Watch Deshaun Peel here. He has a choice here. Is he going to play over the top or come underneath on the throw and try to pick it off? He decides to go underneath and high point the football. That's a risky decision, but you got to be a playmaker to choose that. Then Deshaun Peel takes it to the house and says, good night.
There's a flag at the 50, but Navy is celebrating. Here's the announcement.
Here the return, personal foul, face mask. Charlotte, 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Result of the play is a touchdown.
With a big hug from his head coach, Brian Newberry, Deshaun Peel with his 8th career INT, his second of the day.
There's Sean Brown, who they called it on, number 8, wide receiver for Charlotte. You got to love that's outside linebacker Jackson Campbell, who's getting some action, blocking downfield for his guy.
Kirkwood gets this one through. 51 on the board for Navy. 84 yards on that pick 6 for Deshaun Peel. His 7th and 8th career INTs today. Had 1 versus Air Force, now 1 versus Charlotte. He has a sack today, the 3rd sack of his career. Senior from Norfolk, Virginia is having a day.
Yeah, Deshaun Peel may be the defensive player of the week. I mean, 2 massive plays in this game. The sack, as you mentioned. And that interception right there, Carter, was just a great instinctual play to undercut the throw. You know, if you're going to undercut the throw, you better be sure at corner that you can get to it, because if you don't, it's a touchdown. Just a huge play, and nice job trusting what he sees and having the hands to then catch the football and high point it, then the speed to get in the end zone.
Deshaun Peel is the first player in Navy history to have 2 pick 6s in a game. 5 takeaways by
21 is wearing number 49.
the Navy defense today. 2 INTs, both for touchdowns for Deshaun Peel.
And Peel also plays the run really well. He's a big hitter at corner. He plays that trap defense and comes up and stops the run. He's a big tackler. Man, he is such a good player. There's so many great players in this Navy defense.
So after the 15-yard penalty for the face mask against Charlotte, on Sean Brown. It will be a kickoff from 50. Lance Gossett with the easy touchback. Charlotte ball at the 25-yard line. Of all the incredible performances today by Navy, this one takes it 2 pick sixes.
We'll start it with the pick six outside for Deshaun Beal. Jumps the hitch route, and Beal takes it all the way. Then he decides to run it back one more time. Undercuts the throw, takes it, says, "Get off of me." Turns on the Jets. Watch the blocking downfield here. C14, Jackson Campbell getting involved. All the defensive players are running down there. Kendall Whiteside almost beats Beal into the end zone, the big defensive lineman at 280 pounds. That's a team play, man, and great play by Deshaun Beal.
Charlotte. Half the distance to the goal line. First down.
Unnecessary roughness again on Charlotte. Another 15-yarder. CJ Clinkscales, and he is going to head to the locker room. That is a sternly worded message to Clinkscales. A fifth-year senior. I mean,
yeah.
After that penalty, he heads straight to the locker room.
Biff Poggi's not a guy I'd want to get mad at me. I mean, that is a stern talking to.
The Baltimore native who played offensive line at Pitt. Again, they're one of the most penalized teams in the country. Brown still in at QB for Charlotte. He is dropped on first down. That's a loss. It'll be another sack for the Navy D.
Max Brown there has to get rid of that football. I mean, he's sitting in the pocket too long, needs to find a way to either escape or throw it away, but can't take a sack. His 3rd sack of the game.
Deshaun Peel's pick sixes, 61 and 84 yards. After the 3rd Navy sack of the game, Brown back to pass on 2nd 11. Winds up, tosses deep. It is intercepted. No, it's incomplete. Williams had it. Couldn't complete the catch on the ground. Nearly the 4th INT today.
And number 7, Mbidi Williams. Look how high off the ground he got, but then doesn't control it through the ground. He had it. He's going to be thinking about that one all night. Wishing he would have come down with that, but nice play there by Williams to track the football. He's a rangy safety that can run sideline to sideline. Now Max Brown, I mean, he's throwing the ball up for grabs, can't turn the football over.
The play clock for 25 seconds.
We talked about how big of a game this was for Max Brown with how well his backup Purdy has played before. Max Brown with too many turnovers today.
I mean, 10 INTs a year ago was great for Navy. They already have 9 on the season now.
The game clock should not have said 44 seconds on the game clock.
But 44 seconds back up there prior to 3rd and 11, but this is going to be another dangerous play unless you just keep it on the ground at this point.
I expect Navy here to come after him, and when he's shown the tendency to turn the football over and make bad throws, you try to heat him up and force him into another one.
Brown back near the goal line. Steps up. Nowhere to go with the football. Pumps. He's dropped at the 16-yard line. Good pursuit from Griffin Willis to force 4th down for Charlotte. Here comes punt unit.
Nice call there by P.J. Volker, Navy defensive coordinator, to show pressure, then drop out of it, which confused Max Brown. That's one of the things Volker does so well, is show different looks and confuse the pre-snap look for the offense, so they don't know where the blitz is coming from or if they're blitzing at all.
Bronson Long on the punt again for Charlotte. Fielded by Heidenreich just inside the 50. 4 seconds. There is another flag down. For now, Navy gets it on the plus side of the 50 again.
During the kick, personal foul, blocking out of bounds, number 17, receiving team, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Oh, that's a rare one on Navy on the special teams. There have been quite a few special teams mistakes. That's on Justin Ross. 2nd, 50-point game of the year. The first was against the top 25 team, Memphis. They have poured it on 38 in the first half, 51 on the board. And came in averaging 44 games. It's going to get even better than that.
Yeah, and the defense is helping out too with the pick sixes, and also the defense is setting up this Navy offense with good field position where they don't need to go 60, 80 yards to score a touchdown. They're going 20, 30, 40, and it just eliminates also the risk of Navy's offense making mistakes.
Braxton Woodson is in at quarterback on this possession for Navy, so it looks like Blake Horvath's day is done. Woodson, low snap, handles it, hands off, across the 45-yard line. That'll be Reynolds on the last play of the third quarter. So Charlotte shows some fight in the third. Lovely way to bring us back into the fourth quarter. The incredible number for Navy, 71 straight when leading after three quarters here in Annapolis. Braxton Woodson again is in at quarterback. Reynolds takes it on 2nd and 2. This will be just short, apparently. 3rd and very short coming up.
Probably keep this ball on the ground to Reynolds right here and give your backup lineman a chance to get some movement on a big 3rd down. I like the call to pull the starters out of the game when Newberry decided to here in the fourth quarter. Game out of hand. It's time to start thinking about getting your guys healthy and feeling good going into Notre Dame.
Third and 1. Give to Reynolds a push. This will be close. And it does not look like Reynolds gets it on 3rd down. Look how close that marker is with 4th down coming up.
Yeah, if I'm Brian Newberry, I'm going for it here. With the backups in, it's your backup quarterback on a 4th down and 1. Can give your guys a chance to get some confidence by converting a 4th down here. And with Woodson, alert quarterback run game here, where Horvath is great at it. Woodson is as well, and it's one of their best packages.
Woodson has more carries than pass attempts this year for Navy. I mean, he's mostly played in the blowout situations when you're running the football, but here he is on 4th and inches. Shane Reynolds behind him. Woodson's got to keep, gets a push, appears to have the 1st down. And he does. 1st down, Navy.
Clean snap here. Woodson gets it, and he's got Shane Reynolds behind him pushing him. It's funny, everyone runs the same quarterback sneak play where they motion kind of the slot back and get him behind the quarterback for the push.
Ever since it became legal again in football.
And now we're seeing variations off of it where teams will hand it off to the sweeper around the edge with all the defense crashing inside.
Fake the toss, loose football. Looks like Woodson gets back on top. Nearly the first fumble lost by Navy. Woodson does get back on top of it. We've seen 2 dangerous bobbles today, one by Horvath, one by Woodson.
It looked like Woodson here was faking the toss. Let's take a look at it. So he was faking the handoff and then actually hits Bryant with the ball. Just an exchange issue between an inexperienced quarterback and a young sophomore. Almost a fumble, but that stuff can't happen, or especially on the exchange in this option offense. That's a coaching moment there for Woodson to improve on.
0 fumbles lost, only 2 Oh, that's just a penalty. Looks like false start against Navy. Brian Newberry not happy with the execution.
89, offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Yeah, I think that was on Norris, 85, the tight end. I think they called the wrong number there, but nonetheless, another procedure issue here for this Navy offense with the backups in, and it's going to give Brian Newberry something to yell about after the game. I mean, can't be too positive with the schedule they have coming up.
2nd and 17. Woodson pulls it, keeps it very short. 3rd and long coming up with the mostly Navy backups in. Caden Hooper's taken over at left tackle as well. So you're getting a bunch of number 2s right now for the midshipmen, up 51-17.
A 3rd down and long with your backup quarterback. If I'm Navy, I'm handing this football off and reserving the right to punt here back to Charlotte. Don't want anything crazy to happen.
On 3rd down, option look. Woodson on the edge. Woodson is dropped for a loss on 3rd and 20. Randy Franklin again. Well, he has proven himself today against his former team, Navy. That's his 6th tackle.
Yeah, Randy Franklin's a really good player. Watch Franklin here, 43, come to the screen, run this ball down all the way to the edge, sheds the block, and then makes the play to force 4th down. Franklin against his former teammates. Playing hard, playing aggressive, and making plays.
That's your highlight for Charlotte. Remember last time Navy punted, 2 penalties against the Navy punt unit, including the delay of game for Riley Reithman. Reithman on the roll, backs up. Rutledge is going to grab it inside the 15. No fair catch. Rutledge popped at the 22-yard line. Navy 10 minutes and 9 seconds away from 6-0 for the first time in 45 years.
It's what makes Subaru, Subaru. By USAA. Serving the military community and their families. And by The Exchange. Welcoming home veterans to their exchange shopping benefits.
On a picture-perfect weekend in Annapolis, Maryland, the sun has set. Still 10:09 to go in this one. Navy's got 51 on the board. Charlotte showed some fight in the 3rd quarter. Norton gets the carry again. All right, with Navy now a possibility for the college football playoff, your top group of 5 schools this season.
Well, right now, Navy and Army and Boise State, and the hope for Navy and Army is one of them wins out and wins the AAC title or loses to Notre Dame. And then the question becomes, does a Boise State team with 1 loss to Oregon or a Navy team with 1 loss to Notre Dame in an AAC title, which one is the higher ranked conference champ? I think it'll be pretty close and will be a fun playoff committee discussion. But if you beat Notre Dame, you control your own destiny if you're Navy.
Norton gets the carry on 2nd and 3. He's stopped short of the 1st down. Be the 3rd down. It's Blazard who makes the stop. Back-to-back stop for Marcus Blazard. So now if you're Navy and Army, you're keeping an eye on Boise State Friday night at UNLV on CBS Sports Network.
Yeah, that's a huge game for Boise State. There's a chance Boise State plays UNLV then again in the Mountain West Conference title game. But for Navy and Army, hoping that Boise State drops one of those games, because then if Navy or Army win the conference title, then they're in as the automatic seed for the playoffs.
Max Brown is going to tuck it. His 1st down, Charlotte, as Brown begins his slide at the 34-yard line. That's where we're going to mark him down. So that was spotted a 1st down for Charlotte.
And that's one of the benefits for Navy of joining the American Conference, is that these conversations are fun for you people like you and I to have every single week. Is how does Navy make the college football playoff? What does the rest of the season look like? They took care of business today. Now they got Notre Dame next week, and got some, their schedule the rest of the way isn't terrible after Notre Dame, but they do play Tulane and have some games we'll have to show up for.
Brown hands off on 2nd and 8. Wilson gets across the 45-yard line as we take a look at your predictions for the college football playoff. And I see something that not many people have on there. You have Boise State not only going, but you have them seated at number 10.
Well, I have Boise State winning out, and then that would include a 2 or 3 point loss to Oregon. So they'd be ranked that high from my calculations here. I had fun with this one. Now I also have Ohio State beating Oregon in the Big Ten title game. I have Penn State missing the Big Ten title game, but only having 1 loss to Ohio State. But Texas in there as the SEC champion, playing Alabama in the title game. So a lot of fun things to think about how this is going to play out, and Navy and Army are right in the middle of it.
Brown dumps it. Dumps it incomplete. It was intended for Kennan as Brown was pressured on 1st down. He's in the tackle box, but close enough for Kennan.
Who needs a shoe out there?
Saliga lost his shoe. Matthew Saliga. Oh my goodness, shoeless Matthew Saliga.
Still making plays.
That is a challenge for an equipment manager. Find a left shoe in the fourth quarter. Brown winds up and completes inside the 40. Big pop after Dwayne Thomas Jr. makes the catch.
Watch this hit by Walker. The safety for Navy comes in here. Number 4 delivers a blow. Boom. Driving right on the football. But a big time throw there by Max Brown across the middle of the defense against the zone. You see the arm talent.
Adam Walker gets the big hit. Brown on 1st and 10. He's pressured again, but time to throw. Rolling out. Brown just dumps it into the sideline. Incomplete. There's celebration for one of the midshipmen as we check in with the studio.
Carter, over on CBS in the Big Ten in the fourth, Michigan in the red zone down 14, but Jack Tuttle picked off by Matthew Bailey. Ends a 12-play, 69-yard drive. They come up empty. Middle of the fourth, Illinois 21-7, guys.
He's closing in on what would be one of the bigger wins in Illinois football history.
Yeah. I mean, Illinois is playing well. They lost to Penn State, but played Penn State close in that game. And then Penn State team, one of the best in the country, beat USC. So Brett Bielema deserves a ton of credit.
High snap handled by Brown, gives to Hassan Wilson, who had a fumble in the first half, and Wilson's still out there for Charlotte. Charlotte was the surprise 2-0 team in the American Athletic Conference. I mean, they won only 2 games last year in the American, 3 total. Their first year in the American under Biff Poggi.
Big third down here for Max Brown. Still, as we talked about, kind of trying to earn his job back right now as the starting quarterback, depending on what happens with Deshaun Purdy.
The first of the half. Timeout on the field.
Timeout Charlotte. They were running the man off the field prior to 3rd and 6. So the 49ers take a timeout. Being in on win number 6 of the season and 4-0 in American Athletic Conference play. We flash back to the last win versus the Irish back in 2016 in Jacksonville, Florida, as Will Worth ran for 175 yards, 2 touchdowns. Navy beats Notre Dame. They had a 7.5-minute drive to close that game, keep away from Notre Dame. So next week, Navy takes on Notre Dame at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
I'm telling you right now, Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman may not be sleeping tonight thinking about having to play Navy. This is not a team anyone wants to play with. How dominant they are running the football, how great they are throwing it with Blake Horvath, and then the style of defense they're playing with the turnovers they're getting. Notre Dame's in for a handful.
Brown on 3rd and 7, drops, heaves, long. It is incomplete. Intended for Isaiah Myers. Here comes a flag.
It's going to be pass interference, I think, on Bryce Allen, number 28 for Navy, the corner. A lot of contact with the ball in the air, but another throw where Max Brown just kind of heaved it up for grabs.
Pass interference, number 28, defense. Automatic. First down.
It is indeed on Bryce Allen.
Let's take a look at 28 here, Allen. Yeah, get a little handsy there, grabbing the helmet. Got to go after the football and stay away from the helmet. Probably would have been okay if he wouldn't have grabbed on.
15-yard penalty puts Charlotte inside the Navy 20. Hand off to Norton on 1st down. He is chased and dropped. Well, here's the good news for Navy. Apparently Matthew Saliga has located his shoe and he is back on the field for Navy.
Getting the shoe back on when you got gloves on, you're getting the equipment manager to help you. You probably got your ankles taped up. Not an easy task. Shoe looks like it's fitting well too. I mean, right on, tied up well.
Sparkles too.
Yeah, sparkles. Good knot there on the shoe.
Excellent footwear recovery by Matthew Saliga.
And fast too. Give the equipment staff some credit.
Low snap handled by Brown. 2nd and 8. Ball is up for grabs again. Looked like he was hit as he was throwing. Omega Blake, the intended receiver. Another flag down.
Yeah, they make it a roughing the passer here.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 0, defense. Half the distance to the goal line, automatic. First down.
It's going to be on McShann, playing that striker position, outside linebacker. See number 0 coming to the screen on the blitz, middle of the screen right there, and just hits a little high on the quarterback after he throws the football. See, yeah, McShann's got to stay away from the quarterback's head. Can't hit high when you're blitzing, and especially when you're hitting after the ball's thrown.
By rule, when the ball's out, it is defenseless player in the pocket. Norton dropped. I mean, there's so much to like about Navy's performance, but especially with the backups in here in the fourth, Brian Newberry and the rest of the Navy coaching staff, they're going to have some film to point out mistakes and corrections.
Yeah, Newberry's not going to like this fourth quarter. What all the mistakes Navy has made, the backups. I mean, even you think about Navy on offense, and Woodson at quarterback didn't operate very well. They had the fumble that Navy ended up recovering themselves. But you know, that's the other thing too. When Navy blows teams out the way they do, they don't get used to playing in close games. They did have a close game against Memphis, but ended up winning that one. You don't get used to having those gotta-have-it situations at the end of a game.
Brown designed run on 2nd and goal. He steps out of bounds. Like Justin Ross helps force him out, bringing up 3rd and goal for Charlotte.
This is the part of the game that Max Brown brings, the ability to run the football, get upfield. He's got to make better decisions at that quarterback position and not turn the football over. The ball is the program, and if you can't take care of it at quarterback, you got no chance of playing.
Third and goal for the redshirt sophomore transfer from Florida. One of 71 newcomers for Charlotte. Brown, draw, 3rd and goal, nothing doing. The Navy defense stands up Max Brown and pushes him back. Griffin Willis and Kenneth McShann lead the way on 3rd and goal. 4th and goal coming. The offense stays on the field for Charlotte in a 34-point game.
I'm not sure this was a called quarterback draw. Brown had some receivers open, and the offensive line looked like they were pass blocking, and Brown runs the football himself. It looked like a draw for what Brown was doing, but he had his tight end wide open in the back of the end zone. More miscues, and now a big 4th down. And for the Navy defense, that with the 2s in, that's made some mistakes and had some issues, getting a stop right here would be big.
See the number for Charlotte, 0 for 2 on 4th down. They will use a timeout. That's the second Charlotte timeout of the second half. 1 remaining for 4th and goal. I mean, this is a Charlotte team. We talked about Navy's penalties. Charlotte has made plenty of mistakes as well. Amazingly, they had 11 penalties for 96 yards and still blew out East Carolina. They had 2 penalties on extra points, which that's hard to do. Navy on the verge of 6-0. We still got them at 5-0. Haven't given them the W yet. One of 11 remaining undefeated teams in the FBS.
And now with being 6-0 in a big game next weekend against Notre Dame, everything matters now. This is going to be the most important week of practice Navy has had all season to get ready for a team like ND.
On 4th and goal, Brown drilled, sacked on 4th and goal. The ball is out. Either way, it's going to be Navy football. Justin Ross flies in to drill Max Brown and get the stop on 4th down. It is a fumble recovery by Navy. Another takeaway by the Navy defense.
What a play by Justin Ross from the corner position on the blitz. Comes off the edge from the corner spot, then jumps on the football. Navy's got the football back, 51.
Alabama reclaims the lead, 17-14. Back out to you guys.
Heck of a ball game there with potential college football playoff and national championship implications.
Got the iPads on the sideline now.
Braxton Woodson quarterbacking Navy now, handing off to Shane Reynolds. 51 on the board for Navy. 14 of those coming from the defense on the 2 pick sixes by Deshaun Peel, but 3 INTs and 2 fumble recoveries today by the Navy defense.
Their defensive coordinator, P.J. Volker, just has to be ecstatic. And Deshaun Peel, he should be up for every National Player of the Year award. 2 pick sixes in this game. The sack, making plays on the football. I mean, all over the field, too. You got guys like Colin Ramos and Kyle Jacob. We haven't even talked about that much, but with huge days with a bunch of tackles.
Navy's turnover margin now plus 12. That's a tough tackle on Amin Hassan. Yeah, plus 12. 6 games in. 5 takeaways, 2 fumble recoveries, 3 INTs, 2 pick sixes.
How about 31 points off turnovers today for Navy? That is winning football. That's the formula right there. I mean, this defense is playing with so much confidence. And even some of the pick sixes by Peel today, those are confidence turnovers because Peel's jumping routes and playing not afraid to make mistakes. If one of those doesn't go well, it could be a touchdown. But Peel knows that he has the backing of his coach and his coordinator to take a risk like that, and it turns up being big plays.
Reynolds on 3rd and 6 with the carry. That'll take us to the 2-minute timeout as Navy closes in on 6-0. Still undefeated. The Navy-ranked Navy closing in on 6-0 on the season, 4-0 in the American Athletic Conference. Coming up next on CBS Sports Network, head into the studio with our Inside College Football crew. They bring you up to speed on all the gridiron action, including a good one between Alabama and Tennessee. So we're going to go ahead and project Navy as the winner here. Army took care of business earlier against ECU. So Army and Navy still atop the American. Yes, it's out of conference, but a big one against Notre Dame and East Rutherford, New Jersey next week. Reithman on to punt. Rutledge calls for the fair catch. Has it at the 33. An unlikely scenario of Army and Navy being atop the American Athletic Conference standings, potentially on a path to a championship game in the American the week before they play at the home of the Commanders here in the Baltimore area for Army-Navy.
How cool is that? I mean, it's just great for college football. There's more people talking about Army and Navy football right now than I ever remember in my lifetime. I mean, it's awesome to see, and both these programs deserve it. I mean, Navy and how well they're playing on both sides of the ball. Brian Newberry deserves a ton of credit for what he's done in his short time and the hire of Drew Cronick at offensive coordinator to give some confidence and some new life to this offense.
Brown still in at QB. Takes a big pop as he gets to the 37-yard line. McAnthony Parker making his presence felt late in this game. Last time both Army and Navy were 6-0 was 1926 when Navy went on to win the national championship. Both claimed the national championship. Alabama, Stanford, and Navy all claimed that 1926 national championship. It still counts as a national championship for Navy. Brown on the roll. Brown will step out of bounds with 1:07 left in this one.
Rushes over the right side, out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
Navy, Alabama, and Stanford all finished unbeaten. Alabama and Stanford tied in that Rose Bowl. Army-Navy was also a tie, but Navy claims that national title under Bill Ingram's first year as head coach. So that's all the history lesson from 1926, the last time that Army and Navy were both 6-0. Army's now won 11 straight. This will be the 6th straight home win for Navy as well. 3rd and 1. Max Brown on the roll. Heaves it downfield and incomplete. Intended for Traynor. 4th and 1. It's kind of all semantics now. Good coverage from Kenneth Hall.
Well, Carter, can you imagine if Navy goes to the Meadowlands next weekend and beats a Notre Dame team that's top 13 team in the country right now, and the excitement that will be around Navy football, undefeated and with a big win like that? I mean, Navy will be a top 15 team in the country at that point, maybe higher with a win against Notre Dame. Be the best win in maybe Navy football history at that point.
The question, can I imagine? Yes, at this point, with the way that Navy has played up to this point.
Yeah, and their style of play fits a Power 4 team like that well because of how well they control the game, where Notre Dame won't be able to just blow them out. They'll have to play mistake-free football.
Brown on 4th and 1. Deep shot, way incomplete. Navy gets another stop on 4th down intended for Reynolds. Matthew Saliga there in coverage. So another 4th down stop by the backups for Navy. Looking beyond Notre Dame, which no one around here is going to do, but we can look ahead beyond Notre Dame. Probably the toughest conference test left will be Tulane.
Yeah, Tulane, and then that December 6th date is going to be circled by everyone in this Navy program for the rest of the season. Thinking about getting to that game and how it gets played out is for Brian Newberry to figure out how to keep his team healthy. Most importantly, how do you keep your quarterback, Blake Horvath, healthy down the stretch, because he's such an important piece to this program.
Woodson takes a knee. Charlotte has one timeout left, but they're not going to use it. They're just going to get out of here. Horvath with 3 passing touchdowns today. The only surprise, maybe none on the ground for Horvath. 3 touchdowns for Teska, but really the story of the day, the 5 takeaways by the Navy defense, including the 2 pick-sixes from Deshaun Peel, and Navy gets to celebrate. The midshipmen are 6-0 for the first time in 45 years. A dominant 51-17 win. Biff Poggi and Brian Newberry with a long discussion at midfield. They have become friends in the last couple of years. And encouraging words, I'm sure, from Biff Poggi. It's in the books now. 6-0 for Navy, 4-0, and the American Athletic Conference.